going to be leaned on a lot today. That was one of the things that we talked about this week with Coach. You know, they're going to lean on this guy. This guy is a 4.40 type kid. They want to lean on him heavily. You know, Coach is looking for, you know, these long 8-minute drives, 14, 15 play type drives that they can really eat up the clock. And I think they're going to need to do that today to kind of try to slow down this Walton offense.
So Sebastian Benai will kick things off for Walton. 14-1 a year ago, came up just short of that elusive state championship, and the kick's going to be taken at the 14-yard line. And on the return, stopped right there at the 24. That was Julian Elzey, the transfer from Parkview, on the return. And so we'll see the Brookwood Broncos start from the 24-yard line, and their quarterback, the 6'1", 200-pound senior C.J. Franklin, who transferred in from Archer a couple of years ago, now finally gets to be the full-time starter. Yeah, and I think C.J. is going to be an interesting guy to watch here. He's obviously coming into his own now here as he looks to kind of build into his senior season. He'll be somebody that, you know, we'll see his arm a little bit, but they're going to try to establish this run early, I think, early and often. And Franklin is going to be the one that tries to run the ball on the first play and breaks out across the 40. It's going to be a foot race. And Franklin is finally caught from behind inside the 15-yard line. What a play to start this game for the Brookwood Broncos. What a way to start the season if you're Brookwood. Obviously, they knew exactly what they were going to do when they scripted these first few plays. They wanted to establish the run early. You know, we had heard about the young running back all week long, but one thing we didn't take into account for was CJ's legs, and he showed him off right there. That was Alex Ward, the cornerback, who ran him down at the 13-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Broncos in the red zone. What a confidence booster to start this game for Brookwood. And you see what C.J. Franklin will bring to this offense as they get back to the run. He's going to be part of that running game component. And there's Braden Tyson, the big sophomore running back. He falls forward, gets maybe 1 yard on the play. Running behind an offensive line that has Zayden Zeus Walters, a junior at left tackle. He's already got 17 offers. You got big Caden McKenzie at 6'4", 310. He's got a Western Michigan offer, but he's just a sophomore, playing in his first game as a sophomore as you take a look at the Rome Floyd Chambers starting lineup for the Broncos on offense. 2nd down. Toss goes to Tyson. He goes to the right side, and Thorner going to run him down. You'll hear the name Jake Thorner a lot today. He's that linebacker left over from the state finals team a year ago and stepping into the big shoes left by Ashton Woods, who's now at North Carolina. Yeah, number 9 on your television, Jake Thorner on this Walton defense. This guy is a real thumper. Works his tail off. During the week. He has all off season. You know, you cannot watch this Walton defense without just consistently seeing him show up on the screen. He'll be all over the place today. And Jake's been offered by East Carolina, Georgia Southern, and Miami of Ohio as he starts his senior year. C.J. Franklin, heavy rush, and a quarterback sack back at the 20-yard line. Just as we were singing Jake's praises, once again he shows up here. He finished last season with 5 sacks. He's already got 1 here now to start this season, and Walton was able to go ahead and stop that 3rd down. We're going to set up a 4th down here for Brookwood. So they bring on Caitlin Soroka, who's been their kicker now. 2nd year, she's been the starting kicker for this Brookwood team. 4-star Coles kicking. 4-star for that kicking service, and this is going to be a 36-yard kick, and it is on its way, and the kick is going to be off to the left. Just hooked it left. Had plenty of distance, but it hooked to the left, and Brookwood, after that big run by C.J. Franklin, comes up empty on their first possession. Well, Walton made the stand as they needed to. They gave up the big play early. Defense stood up. Listen, Brookwood, though, you got to be pleased with. You did pop a big run there. Obviously, that's something you're trying to get going here in this game, is getting that running game on. That's what Coach Phillip Jones talked about, you know, profusely this week, of wanting to be able to establish that against this Walton defense. You know, some positive, you know, a little bit of positivity for your offense there to start the season. So here comes the Walton offense, led for the first time by Caden Gilstrap, number 6, their 6'2", 185 senior quarterback. Scored a couple of touchdowns in a limited role a year ago and rushed for 178 yards.
Yeah, and for folks at home, again, we've talked a little bit already in the open about Gilstrap. This is a Wofford commit, great athlete. It's going to be interesting to see him now take the reins here of this offense and see what he can do here in the season opener.
And that is Lucas Farrington on the run as you take a look at the Walton offense, brought to you by the Rome Floyd Chamber. And Farrington transfer from Woodward Academy, where he played in the state championship game last year with the War Eagles in 6A.
He went from one state champion to another state champion runner-up. So
Farrington is dropped for a loss. TFL for Michael Barlow, the senior linebacker.
Great read there by Barlow on that play. That's going to now set up a third, and it looks like about 8. So we're probably going to get an opportunity to see Gilstrap's arm here.
And there's a look at the Brookwood defense. Watch for number 7, Cole Van Hassel. He's their leader right there. That Mike linebacker has an offer from Swanee. Only thing keeping him from bigger offers is his size. He's 5'11", 195.
So they're going to, looks like a little shotgun 4 wide receiver set here.
Third down and long. They throw the ball to Farrington, and Farrington's going to try to get through the traffic and will not be able to. He is gang tackled at the 22-yard line, and Walton's going to go 3 and out on their opening possession.
A little bit of an interesting play call there on 3rd and 8. Obviously, the design of that play was to go right to the running back. He didn't even make any other type of read. Brookwood's defense was clearly on it, swarmed, stopped him for no gain. Now they'll have to punt.
So Nigis Ross is deep on one side for Brookwood.
Yeah, this is interesting. You don't see this a ton. 2 returners are set up here deep.
And the other is Dayron Gross. And the kick is a wobbly kick that's going to hit at the 43 and take a bounce for Walton across midfield and roll dead at the 46-yard line.
Well, Matt, one of the things, I know we're in day 4 of the Corky Kell Dave Hunter Classic, but one of the things that we've talked about a lot over the last few days has been the pivotal nature of special teams. 1, in high school football always, but number 2, especially in these early, regular season matchups, special teams play can swing a matchup one way or the other very easily. So it's important that these teams, really hone in on their coverage units here early in the season.
So 1st and 10 for Brookwood from the 46, quarterback run by C.J. Franklin. And Franklin again busts through the defense and picks up 9 yards at the 45. Looks like he's going to be a real effective weapon for them in design run plays.
Wow, that's now the second one here on the second drive of the game when he picks up 9 yards. And he was this close for breaking out another long run on that. So they found a little something here, using C.J.'s ability to get out in space.
So 2nd down and 1 from the 45. Handoff goes to Tyson. Tyson bounces off the offensive line, has a 1st down and more, and Tyson breaks through a tackle down the sideline, steps out of bounds at the 22-yard line.
Great run by Tyson, very patient. I mean, when you see this run here, very patient runner, did not, panic at all by any stretch of the imagination. Got the 1st down and then was able to gain probably a good extra 15, 20 yards on top.
1st and 10 from the 22-yard line. Braden Tyson, 17 offers, including Georgia, Ole Miss, and Oregon. His dad, D'Angelo, played at the University of Georgia. And Tyson gets the rock again. And don't be surprised. This is going to be the motto. This is going to be the theme for Brookwood this year. Getting back to the basics, kind of a Dave Hunter offense. Not totally back to the 1980s and 1990s, but they're going to run the ball a lot. They're going to try to score with 12, 14 play drives, 6, 8-minute drives. As you take a look at the Walton defense, is brought to you by Rome Floyd Chamber.
Well, I think one of the things that the head coach, Philip Jones, talked about, we mentioned this in the open, it was just kind of like you mentioned, wants to control. After the way last season ended, they did a full kind of reset here this offseason of the program. And this is something they wanted to get back to.
Live from PSN.
2nd down, ball goes out on the edge, complete to Marcus Parks, and he's going to be driven back. They actually lost yardage on that pass play. The first completion for C.J. Franklin and the first pass attempt goes backwards.
Good gang tackling there by Walton there. And you can see the speed of some of these linebackers they have. They've already showed up here in the first quarter a few times. This is now going to set up about a 3rd and 12 from the Walton 24-yard line.
Yeah, Chris, I think this is a great 10 a.m. matchup. You got a Walton team that's reloading. You got a Brookwood team that's resetting, but two traditional powers here in the city of Atlanta.
Yeah, both big powerhouses. You know, Brookwood obviously in Gwinnett County, Walton over in Cobb County. You know, every year,
heavy rush, and Franklin gets out of it. Hot read coming off the end right there and nearly got the quarterback sack. That was Noah Lavallee.
You know, he just got rid of it in the nick of time with the incomplete pass. Looks like they're going to go ahead and bring Soraka back out here for another field goal attempt.
So she missed on her 36-yard attempt, had distance, but it was wide to the left. And this is going to be a 41-yard attempt. Now watch, the holder is C.J. Franklin, the quarterback, so that always leaves a wrinkle open there. And the snapper is Evan Falk. High snap, Franklin gets it down, kick is on its way, and the kick again is wide to the left. Has too much hook in that kick. She's missed 2 field goal attempts here in the opening quarter, both with plenty of distance, but too much hook.
Yeah, you know, a good job by the holder to even get the ball down. That was not the best snap, but holder was able to get it down, and kick had the distance once again, but just kind of hooked it left, to your point.
Yeah, she's been in the program now for a number of years. Her second year as the starter, and she's out there on the front line when they had their maroon mornings, you know, the 6 a.m., 5 a.m. workouts. She's out there on the front line just doing all the drills like the guys are. Well,
listen, what a role model, okay? What a role model of that Brookwood community, and obviously being a leader and having the type of success that she's had already. You know, I'm expecting for her to bounce back here in this season. I think she's got an opportunity to really make a mark, not only continued in the Gwinnett County area, but obviously statewide.
Gilstrap back to pass, rolls to his left, and throws downfield and off the hands of Haley at the 37-yard line.
Oh, I like the throw there from Gilstrap. Got outside, made a good throw there on the run. Unfortunately, his receiver didn't come down with it, but I liked his ability to move there, get outside the pocket there.
Yeah, complicated first pass attempt, right? A spin move and rolling against your body and throwing downfield,
No, let's see if we see more of that today.
2nd down and 10.
You know, this Walton program, they're no stranger to success. You know, there's one of these teams that they've made the postseason for a number of years here in a row. Obviously, they were in the state championship last year. You can really see the depth that they have here. Another deep-looking throw. Looks like him and the receiver just a little bit off kilter there on that one.
Overthrows Max McRaney. One of their returning wide receivers played more of a secondary role in the offense a year ago, but McRaney, the target on that one, had 5 catches last season. Getting a chance to perform big time. His brother is going to be a quarterback and is a quarterback at Alpharetta. And we may see him in their second game today.
Well, this will set up a 3rd and 10 here.
So 3rd down and 10. Gilstrap back to pass again, fires low, right across the middle, trying to get the ball to Caleb Carson, and it's going to be 4th down.
Well, nice job by the Brookwood defense. They're forcing a 3 and out. Brookwood looks pretty good here early on, I'll have to say. They've got a little momentum here on the defensive side of their ball. The offense has moved the ball a little bit here as well. Good way to start your season here if you're Coach Philip Jones.
Chris, 87 total yards for Brookwood here in the first quarter through 2 possessions, and they've held Walton to 2 yards.
Wow.
On their 2 possessions.
Well, as we go into this special teams, just like the last time, we have 2 returners back here.
And this is going to be Ross who takes it, and Ross is going to be dropped right away at the 39-yard line.
Good coverage downfield.
Timeout on the field, opening quarter here. Day 4, the Corky Kell Dave Hunter Classic. Broncos back on offense when we get back.
Man, you know how to do this? Man, I don't even know. I was flipping burgers last week.
Violation, unsportsmanlike conduct, impersonating a craftsman.
Skilled trade unions are well-trained career pros, not part-timers. Construction is a rewarding and lucrative career with the advancement potential, but you have to do it the right way with the right training. Learn how you can be a pro. Find your career at georgiaconstructioncareers.com.
Beginning.
No, they have. They absolutely have. I've actually been, I think probably the most biggest surprise here early on has been C.J. Franklin, the quarterback, and his legs. He's made some plays here with his legs. We were expecting to just see a heavy dose of Tyson, the running back, which we will continue to do, but the quarterback is really what's been impressive so far.
False start on the offense, 5-yard penalty in the previous spot. First down.
Yeah, and listen, from a penalty standpoint, that's our first flag of the game. In these early season matchups, flags are definitely plentiful, but that happens to be our first one so far here in this game, and we're in the first quarter with 4 minutes to go. But that's going to set up a 1st and 15.
So handoff goes to Tyson, and Tyson rumbles back up to about the original line of scrimmage. And that's the 5th run for Tyson already here in this first quarter. You're going to see a steady dose of him, not just today, but throughout the course of the season. As a freshman a year ago, rushed for over 600 yards, and their top rusher a year ago as a 9th grader.
Yeah, they really, really like him. And they like running behind this offensive line they have. They have they have a mix of some young guys. They have a mix of some seniors. Coach Jones feels like, these guys can really establish the line of scrimmage. So they're gonna put a test to this Walton defensive line here early and see if they can wear them down.
Chris, we mentioned Walters and McKenzie, the tackles, but it's Caden Francois at left guard, who's the veteran. He's a second-year starter. He's put on 55 pounds since the 2022 season, offered by Georgia State, Bethune-Cookman, and Morehouse. So 3rd down, and Franklin back to pass, throws it, and it's incomplete at the 50-yard line.
Well, he had the play there. The play was there. Looked like the throw might have been a little low, but that's a catch that I think the receiver would have liked to have back there. Definitely a makeable play.
So the first time that Brookwood has been held to a 3-and-out by this Walton defense.
Well, if you like defense, you're getting a dose of that here this morning here at the 10 a.m. kickoff here at the Corky Kell Dave Hunter Classic.
And to show you just how versatile Caitlin Soroka is, she's also the punter, handles the kickoffs. She handles all 3, which is kind of a rarity these days. Soroka gets it out of the spiral kick.
Beautiful. That's
going to hit and bounce for Brookwood. Got a great bounce at the end of it, too. And it's going to roll dead at the 18-yard line.
Beautiful punt. Beautiful. Great job.
So, Raiders on offense when we get back.
With Life Alert, one touch of a button can get you help fast.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Don't worry, help is on the way.
With any of Life Alert's 3 emergency systems, help can be summoned immediately, and batteries never need charging.
I was having a stroke, and I was scared to death.
If it weren't for Life Alert, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
Life Alert is a lifesaver.
My husband is alive because of Life Alert.
Life Alert is the lifesaver to keep me out of assisted living.
Life Alert saves a life every 11 minutes.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-344-6363. That's 1-800-344-6363. Call now, 1-800-344-6363.
It's
It's hot at Matthews Kia of Cartersville, so we are having a hot sales event. We have great selections of 2024 and 2025 new vehicles. Lease the 2025 Kia Carnival LX $429 for 24 months. The 2024 Kia Sportage LX $289 for 24 months. Or the 2024 Kia Telluride S just $379 for 24 months. Hurry, because prices are in your favor right now. Don't forget, Matthews Kia of Cartersville is home to the lifetime warranty. Come see us today. All roads lead to Matthews Kia of Cartersville.
Back at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Walton and Brookwood underway here in the first quarter. Matt Stewart along with Chris Millman. And Raiders back in the building where they played Milton for the state championship last December 13th. And Daniel Bruner, their head coach, said probably the toughest moment in his professional career. But when Jeremy Heklinski took over at the 1-yard line in the final minute, he really felt they were still going to win the game. Didn't happen. Gilstrap trying to squeeze it into a tight space. Caleb Carson was the target, gets broken up right there at the 30.
Well, one thing he mentioned, and I definitely had some empathy for him, is he said the month of January this past year was not a whole lot of fun. And, you know, when you have losses like that, you can't help but have those losses eat at you. You know, obviously at the stage where they were at when that loss took place as far as the state championship is concerned, that's going to be a hard one to get over, but I know they were super anxious for today.
Gilstrap going to run it and slide down at the 24. The good news is a lot of those primary players who played a key role in the team getting to the state championship, you know, they're no longer in the program, so the hangover from that aspect wasn't there. The bad news is those players who got them to the state championship game are no longer there, and they were great players.
Yeah, no, and he recognizes that, and that's one of the things that he's continued to mention here this offseason, and as we talked to him this week. You know, they got to reload a little bit, but they like their talent.
Ball popped up into the air and maybe intercepted.
They ruined it a pick.
Looking for the official. Yeah, they're going to call that a pick at the 35-yard line as Barlow comes up with the deflection. And Brookwood's going to have the ball deep in Walton territory.
Wow. Well, Brookwood making a statement here on defense early in this football game. The physicality is really showing up here early on in this first quarter. Let's look at the replay here. He got it clear.
That was a great job by Chris Brunson on the coverage to get his arm and hand in there, deflect the ball up in the air. And Michael Barlow, who was trailing on the play, gets the interception. Broncos on offense when we get back.
Man, you know how to do this? Man, I don't even know. I was flipping burgers last week.
Violation, unsportsmanlike conduct, impersonating a craftsman.
Skilled trade unions are well-trained career pros, not part-timers. Construction is a rewarding and lucrative career with the advancement potential, but you have to do it the right way with the right training. Learn how you can be a pro. Find your career at GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com.
Beginning the morning you opened your eyes, we spent every waking moment preparing you for the day you'd leave our nest. Whether it's driving to practice or helping with homework, it's all prepared you for, what am I going to be when I grow up? Will you be ready?
After much thought, I made my decision to take my talents to the IBEW Local 613.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers is not simply a job, it's a career. Visit IBEW613.org to begin a new future today.
Great teams are committed, focused on the details, and work hard to be their best. From practice to games, right down to their gear. Your field is a critical part of the game that allows your athletes to showcase their athletic abilities. Sports Turf is committed to bringing your team innovative sports surfaces with unparalleled performance. You bring the vision. Our team brings it to life.
The Mechanical Trades Institute wants to provide apprentices with a pathway that promises rewarding, hands-on work through a completely free education. There are many post-secondary options for students and young adults, and we want them to consider the skilled trades as one of those options. This is not only a job, but a free education and a lifelong career. We want you to start your future at the Mechanical Trades Institute.
Back in the Benz, Brookwood has the ball, 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. Interception. Matt Stewart along Chris Millman. 2 minutes to play here in the opening quarter. And Brookwood has pretty much played this entire first quarter in the Walton end.
I'll tell you, offensively, I've been impressed with a few of the things, in particular the quarterback. Defensively, they're really making some plays.
Another run by Franklin right there. Lavalley got on top of him at the 26-yard line. That's going to be a 5-yard pickup.
Well, now the quarterback helmet got dislodged there, and it was pretty close to being a headshot there, but it looks like he's going to have to come to the sideline.
Yep. Let's see if they go with the backup or go direct snap to Braden Tyson. They have 15 Gary Chapman, the sophomore, number 2 quarterback, now in there. See if this disrupts the offense. My guess is it's going to be a handoff to Tyson.
Yeah, I think you're right. Now, looking over across the field there, it looks like Franklin seems to be okay. It looks like they just kind of had an equipment issue there, and I expect him to probably come right back into the game.
Handoff goes to Tyson. Tyson runs through the tackles and all the way down to the 11-yard line.
Well, Matt, you called that play.
That was an easy one.
You nailed it. You're 1 for 1 today.
I tell you what, Tyson, he reminds me as they're now in the red zone presented by IBEW Local 613.
Illegal formation, 5 men in the backfield on offense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
Well, you're not surprised for that type of penalty with the new quarterback coming in, and a lot of times that can create a little bit of confusion, and obviously that's what just happened there.
Not to put this kind of pressure on Braden Tyson, but to watch his style of running is what I'm talking about. He reminds me a lot of Herschel Walker with the shoulders squared, the way he hits the hole, the way he's kind of got the body lean and his low center of gravity. He reminds me a lot in his style of Herschel.
Well, maybe that's why George is after him, is that they're trying to get the second coming of Herschel Walker there over in Athens.
I'm not saying he's the second coming of Herschel Walker, but if you watch him and then you go watch some old video of Herschel, they look a lot alike in the way they hit the hole.
You can see it. Hopefully the folks at home, now that you made that comparison, can see that as well.
Second down and 10. Ball goes to Tyson again. And just kind of
the real deal.
Yeah, just kind of the patience with which he runs. You saw there's no panic. He's just kind of, he's in the middle of traffic, and he's just kind of waiting for something to open up for him to hit that gas pedal and burst through.
Well, he's impressive when you watch him on TV and on tape and whatnot. But I'll tell you, when you watch him here in person, I mean, my respect for him has gone up even that much more here just watching him here in the first quarter of this game as we tick down to about less than 30 seconds to go.
3rd down and 2. They need a first down here. They need to get into the end zone and not settle for field goal attempts. And there's Tyson, bust right through the line, and I told you, he looks like Herschel to me.
Wow.
He's all the way down to the 1. Did you see how he broke through that tackle with a low shoulder and low center of gravity?
Listen, you cannot arm tackle this kid, okay? He's going to run right through those. He did on a few occasions there. Listen, that was a 3rd and short kind of play. The defense pretty much knew it was coming, and they just couldn't stop him.
So 1st and goal to go, but the quarter's going to run out here. Look at this. Look how he runs. I've seen that run before. Strong run by Braden Tyson to get them down to the goal line on the final play of the first quarter.
Well, impressive first quarter, and I'll tell you, Coach Philip Jones over at Brookwood, he could probably, I mean, I know the scoreboard, still 0-0, but if I'm Coach Jones, I don't think I could be more happy with what my first quarter looked like.
Strong first quarter for Brookwood, but you got to get points. Coming back for the start of the second after this.
Basic combat training is a 10-week experience that will challenge you both physically and mentally. Each phase of your training will introduce you to new soldier skills, building and advancing them along the way. You and your fellow soldiers will work as a team to accomplish each mission, overcome each obstacle, and earn the right to wear the black beret of an Army National Guard soldier.
A journeyman with Local 85, when you turn out, you can be hitting 6 figures.
Hey, I have your back, you have my back, we're gonna do this together. We're one for all for one.
College just wasn't for me. Let's look into actual career jobs that wouldn't take college, where I wouldn't, lose money and all that. Instead of losing a lot more money at the end, why not make money and make more money at the end?
interested in becoming a deputy or a jailer? The Gwinnett County Sheriff's Office is hiring and looking for individuals passionate about protecting and serving their community. If you are 18 years or older, join our team by visiting gogcso.com for more information. Gwinnett County, together, we can make a difference.
The Georgia Sheet Metal JETC equips apprentices with the knowledge and skills required to start a rewarding career in the sheet metal industry with programs in HVAC, industrial welding, and testing, adjusting, and balancing. Training is 100% free and allows apprentices to earn as they learn. Journeymen graduate with no student debt and have the potential to earn more than most college graduates. Visit our website to learn more about this opportunity at careersinsheetmetal.com.
Start of the second quarter and first and goal to go for the Broncos at the Walton 1-yard line. And Franklin leans his body into the end zone for the Brookwood touchdown.
Well, I think Walton was hoping that maybe the ball had come loose or whatnot. I see the coaches over here screaming a little bit, but referee from the far end signaled touchdown. So we have our first touchdown of the season for the Brookwood Broncos.
And a very impressive start to this game. 132 total yards, Chris, and just 9 yards for Walton so far.
A textbook probably start to this game. I mean, they've had 2 missed field goal opportunities, which I know that, again, they'd like to have those back, but probably couldn't ask for a better first quarter, first half than what you've seen so far from Brookwood.
Soroka on for the PAT, and her kick is up and right through the uprights. And Brookwood has a 7-0 lead.
Well, they wanted to establish the run early. We've seen Tyson's ability and his elite running ability. The quarterback has made a few runs himself. Has showed he's got a little athleticism. The defense for Brookwood, obviously with the turnover there a short while ago, getting the interception. There's a lot of positive things going there for these Brookwood Broncos early on.
To your point, Franklin, the quarterback, 5 carries, 71 yards, scored the touchdown right there. Tyson, 8 carries, 65 yards, and the defense has held the Walton offense to 9 yards rushing, 0 yards passing. Got the interception that set up this 31-yard touchdown drive.
Well, I think if I'm Coach Bruner at Walton, obviously that first quarter offensively, you weren't able to really get much rhythm at all. I mean, the quarterback, Gilstrap, he used his arm a few times. They've done some runs that they haven't had much success on. If anything here on this next possession, you want to start getting a little bit of rhythm. Okay, give your your quarterback a little bit of confidence and see if they can get this Walton offense going.
Here's Soroka with the kickoff. She's been pretty consistent getting the ball to the 5. This one's going to come down at the 10. And the return up across the 20. Cutting outside to the 30 and up to the 35-yard line. Nice return.
Great return.
Walton right there.
Oh, that's what you needed.
Christian Farrell.
That's what you needed if I'm Walton. Again, we talked about earlier about special teams being such a critical element of these early season matchups. You needed a little bit of spark, and your special teams unit just gave you that.
So let's see what Walton can do on offense. They have only 1 returning starter on their offensive line. You contrast that with what Brookwood has. So, yeah, they replaced a lot, having to replace a lot from the team that played in the state championship game here on this field just 8 months ago. Handoff goes to Farrington, and Farrington gets a couple of yards up to the 41-yard line.
That's good. Matt, as we were preparing for this game, one of the things that we noticed is they have a couple of receivers on this team, on this offense that, are getting some looks from some big-time college programs and have some talent. So let's see if they can get them the ball.
Yeah, Christian Ward transferred in from Carrollton. He's a real burner. And then the tight end, Jude Cascone, has a chance to really replace Hunter Teal. And that's a nice run by Gilstrap. First down for Walton at the 45-yard line.
Yeah, great run by Gilstrap on the quarterback read play. Now he used his legs. That's really the first time we've seen him today be able to kind of get out in space a bit and use his athleticism. Again, we'll just reiterate, this is a three-sport athlete, multi-sport athlete here, this quarterback. So he's no stranger to getting out and running.
1st and 10. You mentioned he's committed to Wofford, but to Wofford to play baseball and football.
Yeah, he's, hey, Bo Jackson, Brian Jordan, Deion Sanders.
Nice ball from Gilstrap, but overthrew his man, and a flag out. Might have defensive holding right there. That's the first time they've tried to get it to Christian Ward, who I was just talking about a few moments ago.
Well, let's check
Pass
the penalty.
interference on the defense. 15 yards, previous spot. That'll be a first down.
Well, Matt, we were just talking about Christian here a little while ago. He is their big play threat, and that's the first real deep shot they've tried to take with him, and it drew the pass interference penalty. So we'll have to see if they try to do that a little bit more, with him here and take some more shots. But, I mean, the skill level, the talent level is definitely there, and you can see he's got some nice size to him as well.
The highest rated player on this Walton team right now is Farrington, the running back. They have 3 3-stars on the team, 6 total players either committed or have offers to play college football. Gilstrap back to pass, throws it to Farrington. Farrington right down the sideline.
Stepped out of bounds.
The sideline, steps out of bounds.
Just barely.
Yeah.
Well, this is, you talked about Farrington a little while ago. They say he's got great hands. And you could see on that play, that was a designed screenplay specifically for him. O-line there got out. You'll see on the replay, yeah, he just stepped out right there, just by a fraction of a hair, one blade of grass.
It showed you some great speed right there.
And they said they marked it at the 23-yard line. So to set up a 2nd and 4.
Gilstrap rolling to his right, throws, got an open man out there, and it's caught at the 6-yard line. Now Walton's starting to hum a little bit on offense.
What a throw by Gilstrap.
Goes to McRaney.
Man, Gilstrap with the throw on the run, moving out to his right, put the ball right on the spot there for the receiver. Look at the replay, and I love it. He made his first read, went back out to his second read, found the hole, boom, with the first down.
And now the Raiders are in the red zone, presented by IBEW 613. Run by Farrington to the pylon, touchdown, Walton.
Well, what a drive by Walton. We talked about, right before this drive started, the need to really kind of get some momentum going. And I believe that this all started from the special teams. The special teams unit basically gave them a spark on the return, and the offense just basically took that momentum, marched right down the field, looking to tie the game here right at 7 with the extra point.
So it took Walton a little bit to get their offense going after only 9 yards in the first quarter, but they go 61 yards right there on that drive for the touchdown, the 5-yard touchdown run by Farrington. And the PAT is up and good by Benai. And we're tied at 7.
I loved what I saw from Gilstrap that drive. It looked like he took that first quarter to kind of settle in a little bit. It looked like the offense just needed to kind of come down from the emotional high of starting the game here at the stadium. But boy, he really rebounded there on that drive.
Dang, where you get this car?
You need to join the union.
The union?
Absolutely. You can get 10 of these.
Union construction workers earn the highest wages with the best benefits and the most protection in the construction industry. Find your career in construction. Go to GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com and start your future today.
What happens after you graduate? Will you go to the next level? Will people have your back in the heat of the battle? Will you still train like a champion in pursuit of greatness? You will when you become an IBEW electrician. Join our team. Visit IBEW613.org.
Great teams are committed, focused on the details, and work hard to be their best. From practice to games, right down to their gear. Your field is a critical part of the game that allows your athletes to showcase their abilities. Sports Turf is committed to bringing your team innovative sports surfaces with unparalleled performance. You bring the vision, our team brings it to life.
So when I got in the program, I was 18. At the time, I think the most appealing thing was, I could start out going to school and making money while I'm going to school. Not coming out in 4 or 5 years, $30,000, $40,000 in debt. That was the biggest attraction to this. I got in 3 days after graduation and hadn't looked back.
The GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com Corky, Kell, Dave Hunter Classic is sponsored by Northside Hospital, your source of strength. The Gwinnett County Sheriff's Office. Serve and protect through dedication, professionalism, and active cooperation with the community. Smart Local 85. Sheet metal is a smart move. Gatorade. Fuel tomorrow. And by Score Atlanta, your source for Georgia high school sports.
Back at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, tied 7-7 here in the second quarter. Corky, Kell, Dave Hunter Classic, Matt Stewart, Chris Millman, and Benai with the kickoff. And that's going to go into the end zone, non-returnable. So Brookwood will begin this possession at the 20-yard line. But a great spark for Walton there on that drive after really generating no offense at all other than a turnover that set up Brookwood's touchdown in that first quarter. They came out with a strong start to the second quarter.
Yeah, they really did. And I'll tell you, we're going to have an exciting game here, right? You can see how evenly matched these teams are here this morning. This is going to go down, I believe, into the fourth quarter here. I mean, this is what you call a heavyweight fight here for Week 1 matchup.
No doubt about it. The combination of Franklin and Tyson has been the story for Brookwood so far, and there's Tyson getting the ball again, and Tyson ran into his own offensive lineman and still got 5 yards on the play to the 25. He's only 15 years old.
Wow.
Got a lot of growing to do, and he's already a great running back at the age of 15.
It's incredible. I mean, he's only going to get better, obviously, as he continues to get more game experience.
We have sideline warning. Walton.
His dad, D'Angelo Tyson, was a defensive lineman at the University of Georgia, started at Statesboro High School, and then was a 7th-round draft pick and played 3 seasons with the Baltimore Ravens.
Well, he's definitely got great genes, and, kind of like we were saying, he's only going to continue to get better and better.
We have encroachment on the defense. 5-yard penalty, 5 yards.
So that should be a first down for Brookwood at the 30-yard line.
First down.
And it is.
Yep. Okay. Walton, not how you want to start this drive here, is making these kind of pre-snap penalties. So let's see if they can settle down a little bit. Obviously, their offense gave a big spark. They need to settle down a little bit here. New set of downs here for Brookwood.
1st and 10. Tyson gets the ball again, goes to the left side. He's met right there at the 30-yard line. Straight up, big-time tackle right there, right at the line of scrimmage. That's a super play by Oliver Skian.
Oliver showing a little bit of physicality. At the linebacker position, where we've called Jake Thorner's name a few times, number 9 for Walton. But, his teammate here, number 20, jumping in on the action here and showed up there and made a big tackle.
You might remember Oliver was the guy who had the interception at the 1-yard line when Milton ran a fake field goal attempt late in the game to set up Walton at the 1 for a potential game-winning drive. Didn't work out that way, but there's Haley with a TFL. A couple of big hits here by this Walton defense.
And then listen, their offense gave them a little bit of spark now. That's good. They settled down a little bit, letting these linebackers get out. Their linebackers are pretty fast. That's one of the things I've noticed here early on is to be able to kind of get outside to the edge there and chase down some of these runners for Brookwood. That's going to set up a long 3rd and 12 now.
2 big plays right there as they've got Brookwood moving backwards. Now it's going to be 3rd down and 12 for the Broncos. Franklin's going to go to the air, fires it across the middle. Pass was deflected.
Yeah,
there
good
in the line of
rush.
scrimmage. It might have been Tommy Ross, the nose, who got his hands on the ball and deflected that pass as it was coming out in a 3-and-out. Well, not actually a 3-and-out, but a 3-and-out after they got the first down by penalty.
Right. Wow, good pass rush there by Ross, we said, is the one that did that. Tommy Ross, the nose tackle. Listen, that interior offensive line at Brookwood, there's no easy blockers there to get around. So nice play by Ross there to get in there, set up a 4th down and a punt.
Soroka on the punt. She is standing at the 15-yard line, and Alex Ward is standing deep for the Raiders. Kick is going to bounce in front of him, and thought about taking it on the hop, then thought better of it. Rolls dead at the 41, and that is where Walton's going to go on offense now. A chance to take the lead.
Well, they're going to start out here with good field position here to start out, so we'll see if they can build off their last drive. We'll see what Walton can do when we get back.
The nation's hottest sport. See what the buzz is about on Peachtree Sports Network, where the Atlanta Dream look to eclipse the Connecticut Sun. Dream Sun, Sunday at 3 on Peachtree Sports Network.
Seen this? You ever seen that? You ever seen the Harlem Globetrotters live on TV? Well, now's your chance. For the first time in 40 years, the Harlem Globetrotters are showing off their skills right in your living room. Don't miss a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and don't miss whatever they call that move. The Harlem Globetrotters, live Sunday at 7, only on Atlanta's own Peachtree TV. Yeah, baby.
Set the record. The biggest WNBA game in Atlanta history. The Atlanta Dream look to even the score against Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. Get your tickets to the biggest Dream game of the year and see why the WNBA is taking the nation by storm. Don't be left out when State Farm sells out. Monday, August 26th. Grab the hottest ticket in town now at dream.wnba.com.
Walton back on offense here with 7:39 to play in the first half. Matt Stewart, Chris Millman with you on day 4 of the Corky, Kell, Dave Hunter Classic. We have 4 games here at the Benz today. Gilstrap goes to the air, and it is incomplete at the 50-yard line, trying to get the ball in there to Christian Ward.
I couldn't quite tell if he dropped it or if the defender got his hand there to knock it away, but that's now the second drive in a row now where they're trying to get Ward involved a little bit more in this game. And obviously that was a play designed just for him.
Yeah, I think number 4, Josh Burrell, influenced that play. Whether he got his hands on it or not, he was right there and aided in the incompletion. 2nd down and 10. Gilstrap backpedaling, going up top for Ward, who's open, catches it over his shoulder. Touchdown, Walton.
Wow. Well, we just talked about a minute ago about wanting to get Ward more involved, and they had their very first 2 plays of this drive designed for him. And again, this is the big play thread on that Walton offense. You know, the transfer from Carrollton, and you'll see it's just a simple go route here. And Gilstrap just basically, him and his receiver, just basically execute perfection on a deep ball. And look at Walton now, 14 unanswered points now if they make this extra point to take a 7-point lead.
Scoring recap presented by Breda Pest Management. 59-yard touchdown pass from Gilstrap to Ward. And Benai makes it 14-7.
There might not be a more pretty deep ball than what we just saw there. I mean, in terms of execution, the throw, the catch, the run, I mean, that was worked on all offseason. You can certainly tell that, and it manifested itself here to kick off the season at Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
14-7 Walton. Broncos now trail.
Introducing Zaxby's new chicken finger tacos. One with pico and creamy chipotle ranch, and the other with bacon and avocado ranch. Chicken experts since 1990. Taco experts since now. Woo, saucy! Zaxby's.
The Georgia Sheet Metal JETC provides apprentices with free training and careers that are stable and essential to the operation of the modern world. Both craft jobs and management positions offer lucrative pay with benefits as well as the stability of a growing industry. Skilled journeymen in the sheet metal industry are essential to our community now and in the future. Learn more about free technical training with no student debt at our website, careersinsheetmetal.com.
We saw some squirrels were trying to get into the attic. I hear those squirrels still scampering through because I didn't go through those services initially.
Our job is to go up there and figure out where they're getting in and trap and remove and get those unwanted guests out. But then the next big step is not just seal the entry point where the critter got in, but seal the entire roof line. The most common mistake is only sealing the entry point you see.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs. Zaxby's new chicken finger tacos. One's smothered with creamy chipotle ranch, and one's got avocado ranch with bacon. Chipotle, avocado, chipotle, avocado. Deciding is hard, so just get both. Woo, saucy. Zaxby's.
The GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com Corky, Kell, Dave Hunter Classic is sponsored by the Mechanical Trades Institute, the best kept secret everyone should know about. Sports Turf. You bring the vision, we'll bring it to life. The Georgia Sheet Metal and Air Conditioning Contractors Association. CareersInSheetMetal.com. Building a solid future. Deer Park. Visit DeerParkWater.com to nominate your team for the Deer Park Team of the Week all season long. And by the Georgia Army National Guard. Live here, serve here, work here.
Back-to-back touchdown drives by the Walton Raiders, and now the state finalists from 2023 on top by a touchdown. And here comes the kickoff from Benai. Ross is going to take it at the 2-yard line. Nigis Ross coming towards this direction, gets cut down shy of the 15-yard line by Todd Haley, the linebacker, making the play on special teams.
Great tackle on teams there by that linebacker. Now, if I'm Brookwood, again, we talked about as we were closing out the first quarter. The first quarter probably in a lot of ways couldn't have gone better for Brookwood, offensively, defensively, whatnot. Obviously, they had a couple of missed field goals, but, you know, they controlled a lot of this game. Now, obviously, here in the second quarter has not obviously gone their way. I think if I'm Coach Jones here, let's get back to the basics here, okay? Let's reestablish the run. Let's settle our team down a little bit. Kind of control the tempo of this game. Give it to our workhorse here, Tyson, and here he goes again.
Tyson breaks a couple of tackles and rumbles up to the 19-yard line. So another strong run by Braden Tyson right there. Tackle made by M.J. Burnett. His dad is Morgan Burnett, who starred at Georgia Tech and played in the NFL and is now the secondary coach for the Walton Raiders.
Yeah, and again, this offensive line here for Brookwood, this is what they consider, you know, part of the strength of their team. You have the running back, you have the offensive line. You know, let's make use of these guys.
Franklin pass, 1-yard gain to the 19-yard line. And that is Chris Brunson with the catch. And we're looking for our cheesiest fans of the game all season long. Snap a photo, say cheese, and use hashtag Fiesta every day for a chance to be featured on television all season long.
Well, that's going to set up a 3rd and 4. And, you know, quite frankly here, if I'm Brookwood and I'm a Brookwood fan watching at home here, I really need this first down here just to kind of, again, you know, take a little of this momentum away from Walton.
3rd down and 4. Tyson gets the ball again, and he gets stopped in the backfield.
Well,
it's going to be 4th down. That was Ethan Stannard.
Well, Stannard came down. He's a safety. He came down and read the play. They made a great read and stopped him for no gain, setting up now a 4th and 5, and they're going to have to bring Soraka back out for a punt.
Yeah, Stannard is one of only 4 returning starters from last year's state finals team. Big play right there, and the defense has really risen to the occasion. Hasn't just been the Walton offense here in the second quarter. The defense has been energized, it seems, like their counterparts on the other side of the ball.
Yeah, I think they, you know, it took a little bit to kind of settle in here to the season. Oh, high snap.
Soroka's going to just have to kick it out of the back of the end zone, which she does, and that's going to be a safety on Brookwood. And Walton now has a 16-7 lead, but a savvy play by Soroka after the snap goes over her head.
Special teams, special teams, special teams. You know, we talked about it earlier. We've talked about it the last 4 days. Here are these Corky, Kell, Dave Hunter Classics. You know, it's such a big emphasis here early in the season. So with the safety, obviously now Brookwood will have to kick off the football back to Walton. And now Walton takes a 9-point lead here in the second quarter.
It has been a 16-point second quarter for Walton. As you see the ball just go right over Soroka's head. That was on the snapper. Evan Falk snapped it over her head.
Well, Soroka knew exactly what to do. Good, you know, good on her.
Her soccer skills came
100%. 100%. And, you know, again, just for the folks at home, she falls on the ball there in the end, you know, it doesn't, misses the ball, whatever, could set up a touchdown there for Walton. So she made the smart heads up play there on those high snaps. You just got to kind of take your loss there and eat the 2 points.
Let's take a look at the Walton resume. Head coach Daniel Bruner in his 8th season, 14-1 a year ago, state finalists. Chase Thomas, Dominic Blaylock, Daniel Calhoun, notable alumni. But they got a lot more than that, too. Jeremy Heklinski, who was the Offensive Player of the Year in a lot of regards a year ago for this Walton team, getting to the state championship now at Wake Forest. Ashton Woods, leader of the defense.
Well, one of the things that wasn't on the resume there is that needs to be pointed out is they've made the postseason every year. Coach Bruner's been the head coach.
Ward on the return, and a big-time return. Walton's starting to roll in every aspect of the game. You can add the special teams as well, as off that free kick, they get the ball across the 45 and down to the 40-yard line. So great field position coming off of that safety, and a chance for Walton to build on this lead.
Yeah, they really have. If they go down and score here, they're really starting to take a strength hold here on this game, and the wheels have, you know, started to come off here in the second quarter for Brookwood. Unfortunately, we just got to somehow, if you're Coach Jones over here on Brookwood, you've got to kind of just settle your team down. I mean, obviously you've shown in this game that you can play with this Walton team. We just got to settle them down, and hopefully your defense, who had an interception earlier, can make another play to get the ball back to the offense.
1st and 10, and Farrington right up the middle gets 12, 13 yards.
Good read by Farrington there on his run. You know, that's one of the things we talked about his hands earlier. He's also got great vision, and his vision there really showed up there on that run there. Just kind of a slow developing run. You know, Stamper down and picked up the first down.
Tackle made by the defensive tackle, number 51, best name in all of high school football, Unitas Baltimore, a sophomore D tackle who's been offered by Shorter and Newberry, but his name is Unitas, as in Johnny, Baltimore, as in Colts.
I saw the name on the roster, and I think you hit the nail on the head. There is not a better name in all of Georgia high school football than that one.
Across the middle, wide open, touchdown, Walton. Ball goes to Ward, and a 22-7 lead for the Raiders.
Well, this Walton offense is really humming now. They got a good little balance between run and pass. You know, we talked earlier about these two receivers that they have between Alex Ward and Christian Ward, and both of these guys now have scored touchdowns on their last 2 possessions. You saw in the replay there. Boy, he had all the space in the world there for that easy touchdown.
Wow, what a quarter for Walton. Maybe it just took him a little while to wake up, because this has been an incredibly different team than the one we saw in the first quarter. Benai's PAT is good, and a 23-point second quarter in the first 8 minutes of the period, and now a 16-point lead for Walton as Brookwood tries to regroup.
Make yourself known now.
83-10-01 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
If you live in rural America and want better high-speed internet at home, say hello to the new HughesNet.
Hi! Now I can video conference with confidence.
Yes! The new HughesNet is Jupiter-powered with unlimited data and faster speeds than ever before.
Now I can stream up anything I can dream of.
Now you can do it all. Connect, stream, and play. Call today to get free professional installation and exclusive offers. Call 1-800-736-7315.
Looking for a reason to try the new $5 meal deal at McDonald's? Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and the price makes 5.
So much.
That's everything you get with the new $5 meal deal at McDonald's.
NetCredit is here to say yes to a personal loan or line of credit, even when other lenders won't. Apply online in minutes and get funds deposited the next business day or sooner. Go to netcredit.com. NetCredit. Credit to the people.
Here's to the legends of the game who paved the way for the stars of today.
Get out of his way!
Origin Sports showcases sports history that is as relevant today as it was in past. Origin Sports, run it back.
Walton has flipped the script after a disappointing, unimpressive first quarter. They have turned it on here in the second and now lead Brookwood 23-7. Matt Stewart along with Chris Millman, pardon me, not the former Braves pitcher Millwood.
Kevin Millwood's a good pitcher now. I wouldn't mind being associated with Kevin.
All-star. No doubt, he was an all-star.
Very good Atlanta Brave.
But Chris Millman, not Kevin Millwood. And the ball coming down to Ross in the end zone, bring it out to the 20-yard line. So, Chris Millman, what does Brookwood have to do to get this offense back on track?
Here's what I hate to say this, but with 4 minutes to go in the second quarter, you feel like that if there's any possession right now that you need something positive to happen and potentially go down and score, this is the one. You know, their defense hasn't been able to really get a handle on stopping Walton these last few possessions. So offensively, Brookwood's got to establish some things.
Check out the Breda Pest Management score ticker to catch up on all the scores from the first 3 nights of the Corky Kell, plus all the action around Georgia high school football in the opening Friday night last night. A lot of it impacted by storms in the Atlanta area, and that's Franklin, and he gets stonewalled. Looks like Walton has kind of figured out, okay, they're going to run Franklin, and if they don't run Franklin, they're going to run Tyson. So you got to wonder from the Brookwood standpoint, do they have a plan B? Yeah, and that's what remains to be seen here right now. They did have some success with both of those guys there in the first quarter. You know, they want to run the football. Obviously, you want to slow down Walton. Clearly, Walton's offense has found something. Looks like they're going to go back to Tyson here. Tyson on the run, gets the outside, and great effort by Tyson to get the first down at the 32-yard line. I'm thinking this is a good place for a play action.
Yeah, I think that this is a time to potentially take their shot, especially here on a first down play. But, you know, these last 2 play calls, I haven't minded, okay? You want to be able to give your defense a little bit of a breather over there on the sideline, take over the time of possession a little bit here, kind of lull Walton to sleep a little bit. Clearly, Tyson has the ability to break one at any time. But if there ever was a time for a play-action pass, Matt, to your point, this might be it.
They got Ross and Gross now in the backfield, and they hand the ball off to Nigis Ross. You talk about a change of pace right there. Nigis Ross, comparative, he's a 5'5", 150 running back, and Tyson's a 6'1", 215 running back.
Yeah, so this guy, number 2, he reminds me a little bit, for you NFL fans, reminds me a little bit of a Darren Sproles type player, okay? Good change of pace back, obviously, from Tyson. You know, Tyson's your big power, Herschel Walker type back, like you mentioned earlier. Well, number 2 gives you a little bit of that change of pace, kind of that Darren Sproles element.
Going to go empty backfield here, now reset and put Tyson right there at the quarterback. They had him out here in the slot. So second down, and Franklin in the middle. That's caught. Maybe loosen up the defense a little bit with that pass play going to Marcus Parks. And a first down for Brookwood.
There you go. That's exactly what they need. And now it looks like they're going to do a little bit of no huddle. They got a little bit of tempo here, which I like the move. This is a nice change of pace here to keep these guys on their heels.
Go back and hit them with Tyson, and Tyson picks up about 7 yards on the play, down to the 45. Yes, just get a mix going. Some pass and some run. You're not going to be able to run your way to a championship in 6A in the state of Georgia. You have to have a passing game, but you can use your running game to, springboard into the passing game.
Well, and then, Matt, let's keep an eye on the time here, too, now. We got 1:48 to go here in the second quarter, and this is actually probably a pretty good timeout here from Walton. Just to kind of, once again, let's just settle them down a little bit. Make sure that there's a little clock awareness for your defense.
Yeah, but just got to loosen up that defense. They're just keen on Tyson. And even though they're keen on Tyson, he's already got 91 yards rushing here in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, he's clearly he's not done for the day. I mean, we're going to see a lot more of him, I think, as long as Brookwood cannot make this a one-dimensional game, which they need to go down and get some points here. But a nice little drive here, and this is exactly what Brookwood needed here, which you'd like to get a score here right before the half. To give your team a little bit. Second quarter hadn't been all that great, but let's finish on a good note. Let's see what happens.
Let's take a look at the Brookwood Broncos resume, brought to you by the Sheriff's Cup. Phillip Jones in his 10th season. He is the third longest tenured coach in all of 6A football. And last year, 4-6. Last playoff appearance, 2022, got to the first round. Didn't make the playoffs last year. That snapped a string of 7 straight. They've had 2 state titles in program history under Dave Hunter and Mark Cruz. Phillip Jones was a member of a state championship team with Dave Hunter, and he coached with Mark Cruz. He's just the 4th head coach in the program's history. Pretty amazing.
Well, it looks like on that play they were looking to try to take a deep shot. Unfortunately, the quarterback had to kind of tuck it and run it. The throw wasn't there, and maybe even a smart play by him. To not try to force anything in there when there just wasn't anything there downfield. But now that's going to set up a 3rd and about 6 with the clock ticking down now under 1:15.
Yeah, Brookwood does have all 3 timeouts remaining. Might want to think about using one if they pick up the first down here. Ball at the 48. Play gets blown dead.
Now they're going to use the timeout. They didn't like the look here.
Timeout. Timeout. Brookwood.
So not a bad timeout right there, other than they burned a lot of time before they called it.
Yeah. So now you're about 59 seconds left to go in the half. You have 2 timeouts in your pocket. 3rd and about 6. You're out of field goal range right now. You're at midfield. I guess, if you're Coach Jones, you want to make sure he understands what a critical drive this is for them to just try to get something out of this drive here before half. So they want to make sure that they had the right play call in there. They may not have liked the look that they saw from the defense. So let's go ahead and just kind of reassess the situation.
And remember that Brookwood has missed 2 field goals already in this game. Caitlin Soroka from 36 and 41 had distance but hooked it.
Yeah, so it'll be.
How does that impact your decision?
Yeah, well, and we'll see what it does for her confidence level. Now, she did come out and she did nail an extra point. She's had a couple of good punts and kickoffs today. So, you like to think that, she hasn't completely lost the confidence that she had. And she's somebody that's pretty well regarded around the county of Gwinnett. So.
Yeah, I'm thinking more of the confidence in the coaches to send her back out.
That's true. No, great point.
And Franklin going to run the ball to the left and reach for the sticks. And I think he's short of the first down.
He is.
At the 43. So it's going to bring up 4th down and short.
It's going to be 4th and looks like maybe 1. And, the clock is stopped. So you're at 53 seconds, 4th and 1. Obviously, you're out of field goal range here. And I think Coach Jones is going to keep his offense out here. And this will be an interesting play call. Do you go to your workhorse running back?
Yes.
On this one, I mean, this is like you would see, or you would think this is going to be a direct snap right to him.
Yeah, yes and yes is the answer to that question.
And he got
Tyson
it.
Gets the first down at the 39. But I like that play right there. Just eliminate the handoff. Let's direct snap the ball to him. Let him get the first down.
We knew exactly what we were doing there. Tyson was pretty decisive with his run there, where he was going with it. All right, clock's ticking down now. We're at about 45 seconds.
Franklin setting up a screenplay. There was nobody out there.
I think he was trying to get it to Tyson on the screen, but Walton clearly sniffed that out, and they saw exactly what was doing. Those linemen pulled.
So that stops the clock with 39 seconds. Now, if you do want to try Soroka again, and by no means when I said does the coach have confidence, and they still have confidence in her. The point is you don't want to keep going back to the well. Maybe if you get it inside the 20, you go back to it.
Right. No, that'll be interesting. Now, let's see if they take a few shots downfield here with the passing game. Here's one.
Up top they go for Parks, who could not haul it in. Great job over here. Broken up by Malachi Speed.
What a great defensive play. I mean, he was with them step for step. Really a good throw there by CJ, but the defender just made a really great play.
So now 3rd down and 10 with 33 seconds. Now you have to concern yourself with getting the first down.
That's textbook coverage there. Great job.
Down to 33 seconds left in the half. Walton has outscored the Broncos 23-7 here in the second quarter, but Brookwood scored on the first play of the second. It was really a function of what they did in the first. They've been a different team to the negative here in the second quarter.
Well,
Brookwood.
This was another case where I saw Coach Jones kind of run down the sideline after the offense kind of broke the huddle and went to the line. He didn't like what he saw either from his offense, or he didn't like the coverage that Walton was bringing out there to line up against him. So he ran over to the official and called the timeout. So now that's going to leave them with one timeout here with 33 seconds left.
Let's take a look at the schedules for these two teams. For Brookwood, their Region 7 6A opener will be at North Gwinnett on September 13th. They're at Shiloh next week. Close things out with Norcross on November 1st. And for the Walton Raiders,
yeah, they got some Gwinnett County powerhouses there on that schedule. So they're going to have their hands full. They got their hands full today here as well to kick off the season, but you hope that a game like this, you know, can kind of set them up for as they get into their season.
Lambert is next, as you saw. Then they play at Roswell. Those are all
We have a timeout.
non-region games. Timeout called by Walton. Back-to-back timeouts right here. And that will leave Walton with one and Brookwood with one for the final 33 seconds of this first half.
Well, we got a little bit of a chess match going on between the coaches now, between how they're lining up and how they're going to call this 3rd and 10 play.
That was like an out-of-bounds play in basketball. Brookwood comes up.
That's exactly right.
We're looking, well, this is how they're going to say, okay, now we'll call a timeout.
Well, I think both coaches understand here, this is a pretty significant play here in this game. 33 seconds left, 3rd down and 10. It's a 23-7 ball game. Walton has scored essentially 23 unanswered points here. And, I think Brookwood understands they got to get something here to close this half.
Yeah, it's big. You're right. It's big. So finally, I think we'll run this 3rd and 10 from the 39. They probably need about 15, 20 yards to get in field goal range here for Soroka. Instead, they're going for the home run, thrown into center field, and nearly intercepted.
Close.
Nearly a one-handed interception right there by M.J. Burnett.
Very, very close. I mean, that one right there, my goodness. Brookwood wanted to take the shot, and they did. Unfortunately, the receiver just wasn't open there, and now it sets up a 4th down. And it's a little bit of a decision time here for Coach Jones. 4th and 10, and it looks like he's leaving his offense out there with the ball at the 39-yard line. 27 seconds left.
Yeah, and remember they had the snap over Soroka's head on their last punt attempt.
Wow, so yeah, look at this. Empty set here now.
See if they try to get the ball to Tyson in space.
Playing coverage on defense. Another shot downfield.
And again, a long shot.
It's not there.
Yeah, I mean, taking shots at the end zone, they're great to do, but not necessarily back-to-back in this situation.
Matt, what do you think of that? I mean, I
don't think it was that great of an idea.
No, I don't either, because here's the deal. I mean, I understand you really need a touchdown here on this drive, but you also have one of the best kickers. I understand that she's missed a couple here today, but you have one of the best, kickers here in the area. I mean, any level of points here on this drive, I think you probably would have been happy with.
Yeah, I mean, they got to the 40 and they started taking shots.
Right.
And one shot's fine, but I think you probably, let's work the ball down there, get it down to the 20, and then maybe take another shot at the end zone, but it didn't work out that way. So let's see if Walton just kills the clock here if they take a shot.
Well, they have a couple of timeouts. I know they at least have one. They're going to do a draw.
Yeah, Farrington runs up the middle and picks up 8 on the play on what might have been the final play of the first half. I think Walton's heading to the locker room here. Not yet, but the clock's going to run out on them. I think they want to get another snap off, and they won't. And that'll be the end of the half.
Yeah, it looks like there was a little bit of confusion there on how they were going to play that. Some of the players looked like they were a little confused what the play call was. But essentially, listen, if you're Coach Bruner at Walton, you're happy with your second quarter, 23 unanswered points. You got a nice lead here. Build a lot of things to build on as you go into the half here. What a great job here by Walton here in the second quarter.
So a 23-7 lead as Walton and Brookwood head to the locker room. Let's send it down to Haley Mansell. She is standing by with Daniel Bruner.
And welcome to our Sports Turf Halftime Show. I am actually Kaylee Mansell, and we're waiting here on Daniel Bruner. He's going to be here in just a moment. Wow, what a second quarter for the Walton Raiders. Oh, there he is. He's trying to hide. He doesn't want to. All right, Coach, I'll take your mic. 23 unanswered points in the second quarter. What were the biggest adjustments you made between the first and the second?
We just started playing football. They're a very good ball team, and they got a great running game, and we got to tackle better, and I think we started doing that. We got to make them one-dimensional, and we did not do that early, and gave them everything they wanted. So offense took a minute to get going, missed some opportunities there early, but feel like we're clicking right now.
Let's talk about that 3rd and 10 timeout that you took right there, right after Brookwood. What was the intention?
We had 10 guys on the field. We had to make sure we get all 11 on the field.
Really? All right, last thing for you, Coach, as you go into halftime, what's the message to your team?
We've got to come back out and put the throttle down. We're going to continue to be aggressive, continue to play Walton football, which is get after that butt, and we're going to try to do that for 2 more quarters.
Coach, you're looking good so far. Can't wait to see what you do in the second half.
Thanks so much. Go Raiders.
Guys, we'll be back with more after the break.
If you like to do this, or that, or even that, and you want to get back at it, we've got your back. Or your shoulder, or your hip, or your knee. The sports medicine specialists at Emory Healthcare treat more world-class, professional, and college-level athletes than anyone else in the state. We'll treat you like a pro and get you back in play.
Are you ready for some football? Woo! Right here, T-O-W, right here, Kell Grange. Guess what, guys? It's Cavalier Day. Here at Kell Grange, we support all of our high school athletics. As a special kickoff offer, you can score big savings on all of our new Kia models. Also, all of our community around here, we support our local economy. Hey, T. Wiggins, you go get them, boys. Go Cavaliers. Good luck to you and your favorite team. Go Cavs.
At MC's Heating and Air, we are to addressing any issues with your HVAC system. Our commitment to achieving 100% customer satisfaction means that we prioritize your comfort throughout the year. Our team comprises highly skilled technicians who are qualified at ensuring your home remains cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Rest assured, your comfort is our business.
And welcome back to our Sports Turf Halftime Show. I'm Kaylee Mansell with the Executive VP and CEO of the Mechanical Contractors Association. It's Andy Sumter. Andy, one thing I think that's super awesome is you had a role in building this. What's it like seeing your work come to life here on the biggest stage in high school football?
Well, we have some of the greatest contractors you could ever have. And, I mean, just look at it. It's just absolutely amazing, this place. And, you know, from my perspective, you know, there's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, a lot of piping, a lot of HVAC, and, you know, just see it, the plumbing, just seeing that, you know, behind the scenes, it's stuff I notice. Other people probably don't notice. But it's really an incredible place, and we're just all lucky to be here and watching high school football today.
Every year I look forward to when I get to see you at these events, a longtime partner of high school football. Why is the relationship with the MCA and high school sports so important?
We just think it's important for high school students to know that there are other options for them besides college. And we know that these high school athletes, they work hard, they're disciplined, they are trained to show up and work hard. And you know, we love that environment. That's the environment we want to work in. And so it's just very important for really just high schools in general and the administrators and counselors to know that we as trades, as the mechanical trades, are a great option for these high school students.
For those watching or listening, if you could tell them one thing about your job, what would you tell them?
Well, I would just, you know, if you watch Atlanta over the years, and I'm a native Georgian, the growth here has been incredible. And you know, drive through downtown, Buckhead, all over. You know, our trades built Atlanta. And you know, when you ride by places and you're like, hey, I had a hand in building that, and you see places like SunTrust and here, or Truist Park, and Mercedes-Benz, and the role that we played as trades, mechanical trades, building these places, it really means something to you.
Well, we thank you for partnering with us. We thank you for having a role in building this awesome building we get to play, and always such a pleasure to see you, Andy.
Thank you, Kaylee. Appreciate it.
All right, guys, we will be back with more right after the break.
Looking for a reason to try the new $5 meal deal at McDonald's? Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and the price makes 5.
So much.
That's everything you get with the new $5 meal deal at McDonald's.
The nation's hottest sport. See what the buzz is about on Peachtree Sports Network, where the Atlanta Dream look to eclipse the Connecticut Sun. Dream Sun, Sunday at 3 on Peachtree Sports Network.
Seen this? You ever seen that? You ever seen the Harlem Globetrotters live on TV? Well, now's your chance. For the first time in 40 years, the Harlem Globetrotters are showing off their skills right in your living room. Don't miss a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and don't miss whatever they call that move. The Harlem Globetrotters, live Sunday at 7, only on Atlanta's own Peachtree TV. Yeah, baby.
Set the record. The biggest WNBA game in Atlanta history. The Atlanta Dream look to even the score against Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. Get your tickets to the biggest Dream game of the year and see why the WNBA is taking the nation by storm. Don't be left out when State Farm sells out. Monday, August 26th. Grab the hottest ticket in town now at dream.wnba.com.
Here's to the legends of the game who paved the way for the stars of today.
Get out of his way.
Origin Sports showcases sports history that is as relevant today as it was in the past. Origin Sports, run it back.
And welcome back to the Halftime Show, brought to you by Sports Turf. It is time for our halftime guest presented by the Georgia Army National Guard. I am joined by Major Jordan Gamalik of the National Guard. You guys have been a longtime partner of high school sports. Why is the relationship so important for you?
Kaylee, it's important because high school sports they build characteristics that we value. So young adults who are teamwork minded, they're mentally and physically tough. And as you can see here, the community that's involved in it. So the National Guard is built from the people that are in the community. And we're proud to be able to partner with Corky, Kell, and the Dave Hunter Classic to be able to come out here and support the athletes who are representing their schools and their community in these games.
I think a lot of people are familiar with the GI Bill that helps service members pay for college. Do you have something similar?
Absolutely, and our soldiers have access to the GI Bill, but additionally, the state of Georgia funds 100% tuition for Guard soldiers to any Georgia public university, college, or technical school. In addition to that, our soldiers have access to military pay, as well as access to health insurance, and they get support with career searches and explorations for their civilian careers.
We're going to go a little bit off script here, but I do want to ask, when you look back on it all, what's the most rewarding part about your job?
Being able to change the lives for the members of the Guard and helping support the community of Georgia.
Yeah, that's a great answer. And then for those at home who want to find out more, where can they find out more?
If they want to learn more about the National Guard, let's go to nationalguard.com/Georgia or call 1-800-GO-GUARD to hook up your local recruiter.
Well, we thank you so much for your service. Thank you for being a partner here at the Dave Hunter Corky Kell Classic. Guys, we will be back with more after the break.
Hey, is the power off on this?
I don't know. Just take it off.
Safety violation, unsafe work conditions.
In the construction trades unions, safety is our highest priority, and we train you to recognize and speak out on unsafe working conditions so that everyone arrives and goes home safely. Learn about careers in construction at georgiaconstructioncareers.com.
What happens after you graduate? Will you go to the next level? Will people have your back in the heat of the battle? Will you still train like a champion in pursuit of greatness? You will when you become an IBEW electrician. Join our team. Visit IBEW613.org.
Are you interested in becoming a deputy or a jailer? The Gwinnett County Sheriff's Office is hiring and looking for individuals passionate about protecting and serving their community. If you are 18 years or older, join our team by visiting gogcso.com for more information. Gwinnett County, together we can make a difference.
For a healthier future together, look to Northside Hospital.
And welcome back to the Sports Turf Halftime Show. I'm Kaylee Mansell with Sir Garris Ellis of Millwright. So let's talk about Millwrights for a second. What are the job opportunities that you provide? What skill sets do you acquire?
Yes, ma'am. So we do a lot of work into nuclear power plants. We do a lot of work in car plants. We do a lot of work in a lot of warehouses. It provides a plethora of skill sets as it relates to a lot of really just mechanical nuts and bolts.
The good thing about being here is I feel like you get a lot of exposure to young kids, people in high school. Do you have any sort of apprenticeship program in which they can go into?
Absolutely. We have a great apprenticeship program. That program actually allows you to be able to work and earn money at the same time, and it's the same skill sets that I was talking about, all at the same time.
Are there any additional benefits of going into the Millwrights other than you can go to school and work at the same time?
Yes, ma'am. So they offer free health care, the benefits are plethora.
And if you could tell everyone at home one thing about your job or give them one piece of advice, what would it be?
It would be how inclusive the Millwrights are. I mean, it's really whoever you are. It doesn't matter. Man, woman, race, religion, it doesn't matter. We accept everyone, and we actually welcome it. I mean, it makes us the union. It makes us who we are.
Now, what about yourself? How did you get into this, and how long have you been here?
Yeah, so I've been millwrighting since about 2017, and really the reason that I got into it is because someone else is doing the exact same thing that I'm doing right now, right? Somebody else came up to me and just was talking about how great their day was all the time. I asked him what he did. He told me he was a millwright and put me in touch with the right people, and the rest was history.
So if there's anybody at home who wants to get in touch or find out more, where can they find out more at?
Nailyourcareers.com will take you right to the UBC's website and lead you right to the path of getting in, and yeah, it's a great thing.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. We've loved hearing your story.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys, we will be back with more after the break.
Thank you for watching Georgia High School Heroes presented by Ingalls. I'm Chris Bainbridge, and we're taking a look at some of the best players ever to play high school football in the great state of Georgia. This week, we go to Tyrone and Sandy Creek High School. Calvin Johnson is widely regarded as one of the best wide receivers ever to play the game, and it was evident even in high school that his game would take him far. His time as a Patriot would see Johnson net 108 receptions for 2,342 yards and 29 touchdowns. As a collegiate, he became one of the greatest players in Georgia Tech history. And although he rarely played for a winner in the NFL, the Detroit Lions star went to 6 straight Pro Bowls and is now enshrined in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Thank you for watching Georgia High School Heroes, presented by Ingalls.
I'm Judge Hatchett, and I am here to tell you that when tragedy strikes, you need our experienced law firm.
Hiring the wrong attorney can get you a lower settlement than you deserve, and that's a fact.
That's why you need the Lions of Stewart Miller Simmons trial attorneys on your case.
If you or a loved one has suffered a personal injury or wrongful death,
call us at 404 Law Firm or smstrial.com.
Make yourself known now.
31001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Here's to the legends of the game who paved the way for the stars of today.
Get out of his way!
Origin Sports showcases sports history that is as relevant today as it was in past. We deliver the stars, stories, moments, and games that define the very essence of sports.
Touchdown! Take on! Hammer time!
Because when you celebrate the past, you embrace the future. Origin Sports. Run it back.
All right. Well, looks like we're back in action. So, Matt, I'm gonna kick this over to you here as we set the table here for the second half.
Halftime show continues. Brought to you by Sports Turf. Fans leaving the field 23-7. Walton outscored Brookwood in that second quarter after the Broncos had dominated the first quarter. What was the difference for these two teams positively for Walton in that second quarter and negatively for Brookwood in that second quarter?
Well, Walton got their two studs at receiver into the game. They started taking some shots to both of their two receivers that they think so much of. We had the play downfield on the go route to Ward. The quarterback really came alive there in the second quarter there for Walton, kind of settled into the game.
Gilstrap has definitely been impressive in that second quarter. Let's take a look at the first half highlights presented by the Mechanical Trade Institute.
Oh, this was that special teams. This was that special teams play, which, you know, special teams, again, such a big part of high school football. And you just love seeing Tyson here. My goodness.
Braden Tyson with the
what a run
down to the 1 yard line. Then they flipped it over to the start of the second quarter, turned into a 1 yard touchdown run by Franklin. And a 7-0 lead for Brookwood.
Stand's starting to fill up here. We obviously have both teams' marching bands here, and they've added a nice little extra level of excitement here to the stadium.
This is Gilstrap with the 59-yard touchdown pass to Christian Ward, and that made it 14-7.
I love the game of this Christian Ward. Again, he's the transfer from Carrollton. Really found a home here at Walton.
Snap that went over Sorotka's head through the back of the end zone that she kicked it. That's a safety, made it 16-7. And then you have the touchdown pass from Gilstrap to Ward again. That first touchdown, by the way, was to Christian Ward, and this one was to Alex Ward, the brothers, and a 23-7 lead for Walton here as we get ready for the start of the third quarter.
Well, I think right now, you know, this first possession for Brookwood is going to be really critical. You know, you're going to want to start this second half here out with some momentum here to really stop the bleeding, if you will, defensively from Brookwood. Just couldn't get a stop there in the second quarter. So you need your offense to kind of pick it up here now. And they did move the ball there on that last drive, but they just more or less just couldn't get it into the end zone.
Raiders with 111 yards passing. Brookwood only 9 in that first half. Brookwood did have 155 yards rushing and Walton 51, but most of the 111 passing for Walton, in fact, all of it came in the second quarter, and most of the 155 rushing for Brookwood came in the first quarter.
Right. So it's kind of a tale of two quarters, really. I mean, that's kind of how this game, we had a real evenly matched first quarter. The second quarter just kind of got away from Brookwood.
So game 1 of 4 here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And let's take a break. We'll come back and get the third quarter started in just a moment.
And it's now time for our head coach's interview presented by England and Stubb. I'm Kelly Mansell with the head coach of Alpharetta, Jason Kervin. First time playing in the Corky Kell Dave Hunter Classic. What was the message to your team about the importance of this game in the previous weeks?
Well, I mean, I think everybody knows what's at stake when you sign up for the Corky Kell. It's an opportunity to bring some of the best teams in the state together, maybe get some matchups that you don't regularly see. So we were excited about that from the standpoint. But then on top of that, you get to be in the Mercedes-Benz. So it doesn't get much better than that. I didn't have to say a whole lot. I'm more worried about calming them down than saying anything to them. So
You've been the head coach of this program for a few years now, but what is it about this team that excites you?
These are my boys. We had a tough year last year, and we had a tough off season at the beginning, and I promised them that we'd have a brotherhood this year, and if we stuck together that we would be better off, and we would put in the hard work, and we got better throughout the spring, and this group's really come together. They're playing for each other. They're playing as a team. We're playing for Alpharetta. We're playing for the city, the school, the community. It's bigger than ourselves. So I'm excited to get out there and watch them play today.
It's very rare that we get a Corky Kell matchup where it's the first time that both teams are playing one another. What do you know about Houston County? What has the film told you?
I know more than I want to know. Before I turn on the film, I know Houston County has a great program. I mean, they live football down there. They're physical. They're coached well. They've got great athletes. They're big. They're strong. They're fast. So it's what you want the first game of the season. You want a great matchup. You want something exciting. You want something to look forward to all spring and summer and all the hard work you're putting in. So we have a lot of respect for them, and we know we got our work cut out for us today, but we're looking forward to it.
Last thing, when all is said and done and the game is over today, what's the one thing that you want to see out of your team?
I want to see them be themselves. I think that's something that we struggle with a little bit. We've tried to be other programs, other people. We try to project what we think. And I just want our kids to understand that they're good enough at who they are. Just be who yourself. When you know who you are and you're confident in that, then you're going to be the best you can be. And I hope that's what we're able to see today.
As always, you're so well spoken. The message is clear, and we're excited to have you here in Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
All right, we will be back with more right after the break.
Sweetheart, please don't forget to wear your seatbelt.
I got it, Mom.
It's a really nice day, living in the right space. Breathing your grace, got me feeling some kind of way.
In the blink of an eye, so many tomorrows can disappear. Buckle up for your future, every trip, every time. A message from the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Planting season is here, and it's time to give your yard the perfect touch from the professionals at Personal Touch Lawn Care. Why Personal Touch? Courteous service, attention to detail, and a desire to give you the best lawn in your neighborhood.
They have the knowledge and skills to do anything that I would need.
Call now for a 25% discount on design and consultation services.
Big enough to serve you, small enough to know you.
Personal Touch Lawn Care, 770-908-1238, or online at ptlcatlanta.com.
The Forum River Center in Rome, Georgia is now open and available for meetings and receptions. We're fully equipped for large conventions, sporting events, weddings, and much more. The Forum is located downtown within walking distance of local restaurants, hotels, and boutique shopping. We offer a variety of meeting spaces, many with beautiful river views. Outdoor venues are available for that special touch. With our adjacent parking deck and a personal concierge on site, your event is sure to be a hit. Find out more at forumrivercenter.com.
The Corky, Kell, Dave Hunter Classic is brought to you by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. Transform your future today. And presented by the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 613. Electrify your career.
And back at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Matt Stewart, Chris Millman. Thanks to Kaylee Mansell there at halftime. Did a great job talking to Jason Curvin, the coach of the Alpharetta Raiders. We'll see them coming up in our 1 o'clock game. Look forward to that. Should be a great matchup. Alpharetta and Houston County coming up in game 2 of 4 here in the Corky, Kell, Dave Hunter Classic here today.
Well, Walton's going to start with the ball here to start the third quarter, and you just feel like you need Brookwood. You need your defense to stand up for you a little bit here and make a stop to get your offense the ball back and see if you can get a little something going.
Yeah, I wouldn't say this is a definite, but close to it. If you're Brookwood, you can't give up another score right here and go down 30-7.
No, and look here, your defense in the first half, you created a turnover, so you've got some playmakers. You stood up with them good in the first quarter. This is the second quarter that just kind of got away from you.
Soroka with a 59-yard kick, and that's Ward on the return. Up to the 23-yard line, 22 and a half. That's where Walton is going to go on offense for the first time here in the third quarter. Looks like Ward having a tough time getting up, a little hobbled as he's making his way to the sideline.
Well, Alex Ward, he's one of their receivers, scored a touchdown there in that first half. Now it was Gilstrap, the quarterback, who really got some confidence in that second quarter in the passing game a little bit. Was able to lean on his arm a little bit more. It'll be interesting to see if does Walton go back to the passing game portion of this. Are they going to continue to try to establish it on the run? Looks like they're going to let Gilstrap's legs try to do a little something, but
Gilstrap
not much there.
Gets blown up at the line of scrimmage. Ishmael Hernandez, the nose, made the tackle for the Broncos. Gilstrap 5 of 11 passing for 111 yards, couple of touchdowns, 1 interception, 2 rushes, 21 yards in the first half.
So not much there. Nice job by Brookwood's defense there to contain him, not letting him get on the outside there, and sets up a second down and 10. So officially no gain on the play.
51 yards rushing for the Raiders so far in this game. They've done most of their damage through the air. Gilstrap is going to go to the air and now pressured and a quarterback sack.
Ball's out.
And Brookwood is on top of it at the 16-yard line.
Wow, that's exactly what you needed if you're Brookwood. You got after him a little bit. You created a little bit of confusion there for the offensive line there on how you rushed. And look at this Brookwood sideline just explode.
Jeremiah Brinson recovers the fumble, and looks like, was it Pfister? I'm trying to see who was the guy who got in there and made the hit on the quarterback and dislodged the ball.
I didn't quite see. But what a play if you're Brookwood. If you're Coach Philip Jones over there, that is exactly what you needed for your defense there on that first possession. Now you've got the ball deep into Walton's territory at about the 18-yard line. And, I mean, let's just see if you can go ahead and capitalize off the turnover.
Handoff goes to Tyson, and Tyson tackled by Haley, but after a 4-yard gain.
Oh, they're going to go back to Tyson. They're not going to go away from him. I mean, again, this is a guy who in the first half had nearly almost 100 yards on the ground. You know, he's their workhorse. So, you know, you want to get the ball into your playmakers' hands, especially as you're trying to mount a little bit of a comeback here. You got loads of time here. So they've wanted to establish the run today. You don't need to go away from it. You don't need to become one-dimensional here at this point in the game. Still plenty of time.
Tyson follows his blockers, and Tyson runs over the defender at the 9-yard line.
What a run. Wowee. That's exactly what you're needed from your back there, creating a little bit of spark here in their first possession here of the second half. That's going to set up a 3rd and 2, so your whole playbook's at your disposal here at the 9-yard line, third and 2. You know, on some of these short yardage plays earlier, they went back to Tyson. You'd think that they probably will lean back on that here as well.
And just to go back and put a bow on it, it was Xavier Pfister who had the quarterback sack that forced the fumble. So 3rd down with the ball at the 9-yard line.
They took Tyson off the field, so Tyson's off the field for this 3rd down.
And Franklin's going to run for the 1st down. Thorner holding on to his ankle, but that'll be 1st and goal to go here for Brookwood at the 5-yard line.
So quarterback design run on that play. Took Tyson off to the field, brought in kind of their 3rd down back, quote unquote. And that's going to set up a 1st and goal from about the 5. So look at Brookwood.
Broncos are in the IBEW Local 613 red zone. 1st and goal to go. Ball at the 5-yard line. A chance to get back in this game in a quick way early in this 3rd quarter. And Tyson is back in the game, and he's going to get the rock. And Tyson falls forward to about the 2.5-yard line. That was Thorner, the first guy who got to him. And there's a flag down on the play. So illegal shift, they'll take the penalty, Walton will, and make it 1st and goal from the 10.
And those are the kinds of penalties, you know, that are going to happen in a first game. Obviously, as, you know, you're not, obviously you want to try to avoid them at all costs, but those types of things are just going to happen.
Well, it just kills you. Now you're 10 yards away from the touchdown instead of 2 yards away.
Yeah, no, it does. And, you know, relatively for a first game, we haven't had a lot of penalties like we've had in some of these first games of the Corky Kell Classic here throughout this week. It's been relatively low on the penalty front, but let's see in the second half if that changes.
Just the 5th total penalty in this game as Tyson tried to hurdle the defender, and Thorner makes the tackle at the 8-yard line, or 9.5, or 9-yard line, and it's going to be 2nd down and goal from the 9.
About a gain of 1. There, in that play, it looks like he was trying to run behind his big right tackle. So McKenzie, that sophomore, again, who's setting that right side of the right side edge. When you look at him on film, it's like, man, this guy, he's a monster, and he's only going to get better.
2nd down. Handoff goes to Tyson again, trying to bounce it outside. Right tackle, and gets knocked out of bounds at the 1-yard line. Had been Caden Francois, number 53, running a convoy for him and clearing the way.
So that's going to set up looks like a 3rd and goal from now the right about the 1-yard, 1-foot line. And again, kind of like I mentioned a little while ago, on some of these short yardage situations, they've gone right to Tyson. And I think if I'm Coach Jones, I have a hard time calling anything different than that here on a 3rd and 1 play from the 1-yard line.
Yeah, they're going to line up in the I. I would direct snap to Tyson. That's worked so well before. Instead, they hand off to Tyson, and Tyson gets into the end zone for the touchdown.
Well, what an answer by Brookwood. Go right down the field, create the turnover, get the ball back to your offense. Offense goes right down. Did not throw not one pass on that drive. You know, we know that they want to establish the run, and that's what's worked for them. And they went to their bread and butter to go down the field and score. And now we got a football game here, Matt.
Yeah, they are right back in it. They have cut the lead down to 23-13 pending the PAT by Soroka. And she puts it right through. It's 21-14.
So
a 17-yard drive after Pfister forced the fumble and Brinson recovered, and the offense cashes in. 9-point game here early in the third quarter.
If you live in rural America and want better high-speed internet at home, say hello to the new HughesNet.
Hi! Now I can video conference with confidence.
Yes! The new HughesNet is Jupiter-powered with unlimited data and faster speeds than ever before.
Now I can stream up anything I can dream of.
Now you can do it all. Connect, stream, and play. Call today to get free professional installation and exclusive offers. Call 1-800-736-7315.
Ingles, all the ingredients for family.
The nation's hottest sport. See what the buzz is about on Peachtree Sports Network, where the Atlanta Dream look to eclipse the Connecticut Sun. Dream Sun, Sunday at 3 on Peachtree Sports Network.
Seen this? You ever seen that? You ever seen the Harlem Globetrotters live on TV? Well, now's your chance. For the first time in 40 years, the Harlem Globetrotters are showing off their skills right in your living room. Don't miss a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and don't miss whatever they call that move. The Harlem Globetrotters, live Sunday at 7, only on Atlanta's own Peachtree TV. Yeah, baby.
So Brookwood back in the game after their defense sets up their offense for a short touchdown drive. 23-14 is now the Broncos kick to the Raiders. Going to hit at the 15-yard line. And here comes the return by Farrell up to the 23, and that's where the Broncos go back on offense. But what a jolt of life, Chris, for this Broncos team to get that play by the defense to kind of gift the short field to the offense.
Oh, it was great. It's exactly what you wanted if you're Coach Jones over at Brookwood coming out there at the half. You needed your defense to make a stop. They created the turnover right away, got the ball back to the offense. You went back to your bread and butter, which is that run game, and that run game just took you right into the end zone. And now we got essentially a 9-point game here early on in the third quarter, plenty of time. Let's see what Walton does here now to make any adjustments and see if they go back to some of those things that they had some success on there in the second quarter.
Got a man down for Walton on the kick coverage. It appears to be number 11, Hogan Hans. They're looking at his leg. Kind of looking at that left leg, looking around the knee region. Hopefully it's not anything serious, which kind of leads me to the conversation. We had this with Brian Appling, the Buford coach, this week, about the new kickoff in the NFL. And did he think it would come to high school football? And he kind of thought that it would, and I do too. Usually there's a trickle-down effect. Takes a couple of years, but what the NFL adopts, that doesn't look good.
No, that doesn't look good.
As Hans is being helped to the sideline, but you see Coach Bruner out there helping his young man off the field as well. Very disappointing for him. Hopefully it's not too serious, but it doesn't look good right now as he can put no weight on that left leg.
You just hate seeing that.
Yeah, you do.
Especially in the first game of the season.
Yeah, that takes me back to the conversation about the kickoff, and the whole reason why the NFL has adopted that kickoff method is to cut down on injuries, and kickoffs are, generally speaking, the highest percentage of injuries come on kickoffs, punts, but kickoffs in particular because of the collision aspect of the game.
Right. Oh, it'll be interesting. I know, we're in the NFL preseason here currently. We've got a little bit of a taste, but I think right now it's going to be interesting to see once we get to the regular season for the NFL how the kickoff is played and the different strategy that these special teams coaches utilize.
Farrington gets the handoff, and Farrington gets dropped after just a 2-yard gain.
Well, you're seeing a little extra spark here in this Brookwood defense here early on here in the second half. Been pretty impressed here early on with some of the adjustments they made. And, again, I'm not sure exactly what Coach Jones here over at Brookwood said it at the half, but he's clearly gotten his defensive attention because they are coming out with a little extra giddy in their step here in this third quarter.
That was Gabe DuPont with the TFL, so 2nd down and 12. Gilstrap going to the far sideline and mistiming on the go route. Day Pearson was on the coverage, and it's going to be 3rd down.
Yeah, so now 3rd and about 11. So, again, Brookwood's doing some things here that's confusing Walton a little bit here. So now at this 3rd and 11, clearly obvious passing situation here. Defensive line here for Brookwood there on the last series caused the strip sack. Let's see here what type of blitz package, if any, they set up here. Looks like they got three rushers.
Might be bringing more than that.
Here
and
comes,
they are.
They are.
4th.
Yep, here he is.
There he is.
Right
got
in his
in on
face.
the quarterback and throws incomplete.
Wow.
And that was Brinson.
So
actually, Michael Barlow, 9 or 8. I can't. It was either 9 or 8. If it's 9, it's Barlow. If it's 8, it's Brinson. But they brought him as the 4th. Kind of disguised him a little bit and brought him as the 4th rusher, and they never picked him up.
They did. So they didn't show everything in that first half from a defensive standpoint. They were holding on to some of these, extraordinary kind of different looks here in the second half. And I'll tell you, they've confused Walton. In particular, they've confused Gilstrap a little bit here in the third quarter.
Here's the punt by Bryant Gunnels. He had 2 punts for a 36.5 punt average.
We have
in
a
the first
timeout.
half.
Brookwood. That is the first charge timeout of the half.
Oh, man. So
I think that's a situation they didn't have enough guys on the field.
Yeah,
you see the coaches on the sideline. Yeah, they didn't have enough guys or they didn't have the right personnel.
Yeah, they didn't like it. Now, I'll for those of you who may just joined us, one of the things that Brookwood has done so far on the special team side of things on these punt returns is that they've done a little bit of an unorthodox kind of return setup where they've had 2 returners back deep. And you don't see that a ton. You do see it a little bit in high school football. Then don't really ever see it in college or the pros. But they're going with the 2 deep returners. Early on in this game, it really hasn't amounted to anything. They haven't had much of return yards. But it is something to kind of keep your eye on from what I like to describe a little bit from a razzle-dazzle standpoint. Do they have something in the works here to kind of fool the punt coverage unit of Walton?
Gross and Ross are deep for Brookwood. And Gunnels set to punt again, standing at his 7-yard line. High snap to him. He hauls it down. And a line drive spinning kick away from the returners that does take a little bit of a Walton bounce just across midfield. So Brookwood's got great field position for their second offensive possession here of the second half. Don't go away. Brookwood has a chance to close the deficit as they go back on offense when we get back.
Dang, where you get this car?
You need to join the union.
The union?
Absolutely. You can get 10 of these.
Union construction workers earn the highest wages with the best benefits and the most protection in the construction industry. Find your career in construction. Go to GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com and start your future today.
Beginning the morning you opened your eyes, we spent every waking moment preparing you for the day you'd leave our nest. Whether it's driving to practice or helping with homework, it's all prepared you for, what am I going to be when I grow up? Will you be ready?
After much thought, I made my decision to take my talents to the IBEW Local 613.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers is not simply a job, it's a career. Visit IBEW613.org to begin a new future today.
great teams are committed, focused on the details, and work hard to be their best. From practice to games, right down to their gear. Your field is a critical part of the game that allows your athletes to showcase their athletic abilities. Sports Turf is committed to bringing your team innovative sports surfaces with unparalleled performance. You bring the vision. Our team brings it to life.
Mechanical contractors in Georgia need workers that are highly skilled and reliable to maintain quality and efficiency in their projects. The Mechanical Trades Institute is an apprenticeship program that trains pipe fitters, plumbers, welders, and mechanical service technicians for our contractors to exceed the expectations of our customers. Visit our website to learn more about training at the Mechanical Trades Institute.
The GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com Corky, Kell, Dave Hunter Classic is sponsored by Georgia's Rome, where the rivers meet and the mountains begin. The Governor's Office of Highway Safety. Seatbelts save lives. The Governor's Office of Highway Safety reminds you to buckle up before every trip. The Georgia Elite Classic, Georgia's largest all-star games. And by Breda Pest Management, the official pest control of Atlanta.
Back at the Benz, 7:23 to play here in the third as the Broncos go back on offense. They've already scored a touchdown here early in the third to cut the Walton lead to 23-14. Matt Stewart, Chris Millman with you. Thanks for joining us here in the Corky, Kell, Dave Hunter Classic. And Nigel Ross gets the carry, breaks out of the tackle by Haley, and finally gets tracked down by Lavallee at the 46-yard line. But how about 5'5", 150, Nigel Ross breaking out of the tackle of Todd Haley, who's 6'2", 220.
Well, we've seen him a few times today. Not a lot, because obviously they've been leaning on Tyson quite a bit. But, you know, this Ross kid, he's definitely a spark plug here for this offense. They love to utilize him as kind of a change of pace to when they have Tyson in there. Now, Tyson, here we are in the third quarter, already has over 20 carries in this game, over 100 yards. So obviously he's their workhorse.
Franklin, heavy rush, gets it out of there and throws it away. Great pressure coming from Walton right there.
So that's going to set up a 3rd and 5.
You saw Todd Haley, Hayden Halpus really bringing heat on Franklin right there to blow up the play, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, this will be an interesting play call here, because you're on Walton's 46. It's 3rd down and 5. Obviously, you got your running back Tyson, who's lined up here next to Franklin.
Yeah, I think if you can get it close enough to the sticks, you'd be in 4-down territory right here, I think. Instead, they're going to pass it. Franklin steps up in the pocket, and it's complete.
He looks like he's just short.
It goes to Evan Gober. First time they've gone to him, and I think you're in 4-down territory.
Yeah, I agree with you.
4th and 1.
Fourth and 1. They're officially, I think, going to call it 4th and 2, but it's like fourth and about 1.5 here. Oh, he's bringing in a different personnel grouping here. Let's see, is he going to bring in the big boys?
Well, Soroka stepped on the field and then stepped back off, so they're going for it on 4th and 1.
Yeah, so a little bit of a goal line package here. Looks like they might try to rush him or try to draw him off sides. No, they're going to snap it.
Direct snap to Tyson. And Tyson's got the first down and more. Tyson across the 25. Tyson to the end zone. Touchdown.
Unbelievable. Wow, what a run by Tyson. 4th and 2. They kind of ran up to the line, quick snapped it right to him. He just ran off the right side into the end zone for a touchdown. Now there is a flag.
After the play, we have a sideline warning on Brookwood.
Well, Coach Bruner's out there on the field. He's about going to meet the official. Looks like almost at midfield there. He is not happy that there wasn't some type of call over there. Not exactly sure what he was looking for there, but what a run by Tyson.
Second touchdown run of the quarter for Braden Tyson. And now it's 23-21. They'll go for the single point right here. And Soroka puts it through. It's 23-21. And the tables have turned here in the third quarter.
Well, Brookwood has come out and done exactly what we talked about there at the half. They came out, have reestablished that running game, leaning on that big offensive line. My goodness, we have totally, this is like this game. The first quarter was its own game. The second quarter was its own game, and now the third quarter, and it's just like we're rotating here.
Well, Brookwood has owned the odd-numbered quarters.
That's correct.
And Walton had the even-numbered quarter. So we'll see if Walton has the fourth quarter. Brookwood, hopefully, at least from their perspective, is hoping that's not the case. But Tyson putting on a show. Tyson, a 43-yard touchdown run. Now 21 carries for 156 in the game for the sophomore in his first season as a sophomore running back after rushing for over 600 yards last year as a freshman.
Unbelievable. Well, if you wanted a picture perfect how to start a season as a running back, Mr. Tyson here at Brookwood is doing that. So we got a 2-point game here, Matt, midway through the third quarter.
Wow, change in the action here, and it's happened in just 6 minutes and 20 seconds. And it all started with a quarterback sack of Gilstrap and forced fumble that set them up for a 17-yard touchdown drive. And then they hit him with a big play, and we've got a 2-point game. Ball is fumbled. Walton gets on top of it at the 14-yard line, and things are starting to get a little unhinged here for the Raiders.
Yeah.
That was Farrell who had the ball come in on his chest. And anytime you catch the ball and it comes in on your chest, there's an opportunity for it to ricochet off that
shoulder pad,
the chest plate on your shoulder pads.
Well, it's amazing. You know, football is such a game of momentum, and it's crazy how, you know, one team can get the momentum and it just totally affects the whole entire unit, from offense, defense to special teams. And Brookwood's physicality has shown up in a big way here in this third quarter, from the defensive side of the ball to the offensive side of the ball. And it's really been this, in my view, it's been this Brookwood defensive line that has set the tone.
So Gilstrap, the quarterback, had a big second quarter. Farrington is running back, 6 carries for 30 yards in the first half. And Gilstrap in trouble back inside the 5 and throws it away as Baltimore had him in his grasp. Great pressure there by Unitas Baltimore for the quarterback pressure, nearly got the sack.
Well, Baltimore got in his face. It was remarkable that Gilstrap could even somehow, some way get the ball off to create the incompletion. It was about to be about a 10, 12-yard loss there.
Unitas Baltimore, all he needs to complete the whole thing is the high top cleats. Remember
that's right.
Remember Johnny Unitas wore the high top.
That's right. Well, I also think it's funny that, I mean, I guess probably thankfully he doesn't live in Maryland.
Second down. Gilstrap on the run. Nice run. Has the first down up to the 26-yard line. They really needed something like that because there's been a lot going wrong in this quarter. They just needed a nice, positive 10-yard run, and Gilstrap just gave it to them.
Well, here's what I would say is that, you know, from an offensive standpoint, in the second quarter, you know, Gilstrap's arm really came to life, and he, you know, started getting comfortable with his receivers. But it's really, in my view, it's a little bit of the balance is what created that. And so they kind of came out here in this third quarter and kind of trying to go back to Gilstrap's arm. Well, listen, we got to mix a little bit. We got to get back to the running game a little bit to kind of open up that passing game, and they become one-dimensional. You know, Brookwood was just teeing off.
Handoff goes to Farrington, and Farrington's going to get a couple of yards on the play.
And I have no problem with that play call. Give it to Farrington. He's somebody that you rely a lot on there from a running back standpoint. You know, take your 3 yards, continue to allow your offensive line to kind of reestablish the line of scrimmage. Brookwood has been beating you pretty good here up front. And then that's just going to open up this passing game.
That was Marcus Parks, who we've seen on the offensive side of the ball playing some defense here in the third quarter, who made that tackle. And it's going to be second down. Gilstrap, play action, quick pass out on the edge, and that's going to be a first down catch.
Yeah, that's good. He's trying a few shots on this short passing game. On a 2nd and 7 play, there you go. You get it to your receiver Ward over there, who's, you know, a big target for Gilstrap.
had the 59-yard touchdown catch in the first half. That'll move the sticks. So back-to-back first downs here for Walton as they're starting to regroup a little bit after giving up a couple of touchdowns here in this quarter. 1st and 10 from the 36. It's Haley in motion. Farrington follows Haley, and Farrington is still moving the pile. They haven't blown the whistle yet.
Got him.
They let him play
There
on
you go.
through.
Play to the whistle.
43-yard
Play to the whistle.
Looked like it was going to be a 3-yard gain, and it ends up being a 7-yard gain.
Well, during the summer, a lot of times you're hearing your coaches bark at you, play to the whistle, play to the whistle, play to the whistle. Well, that's what the offensive line did there. And they just, probably got an extra 2 or 3 yards because they kept pushing on.
2nd down. Call it 3 from the 43. Spin move, Gilstrap looking to throw downfield and dumped it downfield and dropped it to 45.
Man, he was open.
Yeah, Christian Ward. Not only was he open, he had a lot of room to run.
Well, Brookwood, they brought some of their linebackers there in as rushers on that one. They were going to try to knock Gilstrap off his spot, and they were able to kind of flush him out a little bit. Well, it left the receiver open. They just couldn't connect.
So now it's 3rd down and 3. This
is going to be a pretty interesting play call here to see how Coach Bruner here at Walton wants to play this, because you're right about midfield here. 3rd and about 3.
Play gets blown dead. Timeout called by Walton.
Yeah, I think.
Timeout, Walton.
I think they wanted to kind of think about this a little bit, kind of like we were talking about earlier. Had an opportunity to kind of see what was Brookwood going to come out from a look standpoint there on defense.
So 3rd down and 3 coming up, a big one with under 3 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter. Breda Pest Management knows your house inside and out with a customized treatment plan that stops any bugs and critters. Breda does it right, protecting the inside and outside of your home. It's the bugs inside your house that you want gone. Breda, they can do it. They handle bugs and critters. So, Chris, if you're Coach Bruner, are you throwing or passing here on this 3rd and 3?
Well, I think right now I'm probably going to run it because I think if I don't get it, and then I'm probably potentially going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down.
You answered my next question. If you run it and get
short,
close, get to within 1, you're going for it, right?
I think so. I think so. I mean, I know. Listen, it's early. There's still a lot of time left to go in this game. Obviously, Walton, you're leading, but you've shown the ability to be able to grab short yardage situations here.
3rd down and 3. Gonna run it Gilstrap, and he's got the 1st down and more. Across the 40, Gilstrap down to the 20. Shoved out of bounds around the 15-yard line.
Well, that's his athleticism. You saw it there on that play. Quarterback design run. And, for those of you who are just joining us, this Gilstrap quarterback, he's a 3-sport athlete: basketball, baseball, football. And, the coach doesn't have any problem putting the ball in his hands and letting him go.
They spotted it at 14, and that's the thing that Daniel Bruner said as the Raiders are now in the red zone presented by IBEW Local 613, is that the thing that attracted to him about Gilstrap was his competitiveness. Whether he's on the pitcher's mound, whether he's on the basketball court, and now here in his senior season after sitting and waiting for his opportunity, you're seeing it here as a quarterback.
Timeout, Walton. So that's going to...
Timeout, Walton. This is their 2nd charge timeout of the half.
So that's going to leave them with just 1 timeout going into, the back half of this 2nd half here. That could be critical.
Yeah, and what looks like it's shaping up to be a tight 4th quarter, no doubt about it. The good news for them, though, is they have the lead. So I think when you have the lead in that situation, you might be a little bit more positive about taking the timeout right there. It's when you don't have the lead that you want to really hold those timeouts.
Sure. Well, and you're deep into Brookwood's territory as well. And you've done a nice job here in this drive here, moving the football. And look, we talked a little bit about earlier in this drive when Walton regained possession. You know, there was a big need to kind of create a little bit more balance, you know, from an offensive standpoint. You know, we kind of got away from the run game there coming out here in the second half, and you've seen here on this drive now, they're doing a much better job of kind of mixing and matching both the run and the pass.
1st and 10, ball at the 14 for the Raiders. Gilstrap looks one way and the next. Heavy rush. Gilstrap now gonna run it inside the 10. Then got caught.
Tackle.
Wow, that is a tremendous tackle right there to save a touchdown. Cole Van Hassel.
Yeah, Cole
got him. I thought Gilstrap had a lane to the end zone.
Well, and Cole's a tremendous player. You know, we haven't called him a bunch today, but Cole's one of those guys, as you're watching Brookwood's defense, you know, he's flying around the football. But a nice play by Gilstrap here to, you know, make a play here and kind of get outside, and he was just that close to scoring.
Yeah, Van Hassel saved a touchdown right there, at least for right now. 2nd down. Toss goes to Farrington. Farrington gets stopped. Great pursuit by Xavier Pfister to keep him from getting the first down. It was Pfister who had the quarterback sack force fumble to get things started for Brookwood in this 3rd quarter.
Nice play. Well, it'll set up about a 3rd down and about 3, and the Brookwood student section really came alive there on that last play, trying to give this Brookwood defense a little bit of energy to stand up here to see if they can get a red zone stop here. Let's see if they do it again. Ball's at about the 7.
3rd down and 3. Line to gain is the 4, so you can get a first down without scoring a touchdown. A minute to play here in the 3rd quarter. Gilstrap rolling to his left, now spinning back the other way. Being chased, throwing, broken up at the 7-yard line.
Oh, but we got a late penalty. It looks like it might be a roughing the passer penalty, which would set up an automatic first down, which is just a backbreaker of a penalty if that's indeed the call.
Josh Burrell, number 4, was the one who broke up the pass.
A personal foul. Roughing the passer. On the defense.
Man.
After distance, you go automatic. First down.
Chris, you can see how that happens. Those defensive linemen chase that quarterback and get frustrated. So when they get there, even if it's late, they want to get the hit.
Man, and that's one of those things that just, your defense did such a great job there on that last set of downs. You feel like you had them stopped. You almost had the interception. Unfortunately, you have an undisciplined penalty like that. Now it created a first down. New set of downs for Walton and puts them inside the 5.
Yeah, 1st and goal to go now. Ball is sitting on the 3. 56 seconds to play here in the 3rd quarter. Farrington, touchdown, Walton.
That's why those penalties just hurt you. You know, those are the types of penalties that will keep your coach up at night, because your defense did a great job there. Unfortunately, you had the penalty, gave a new set of downs. Next play, boom, right into the end zone. Walton takes a 29-21 lead here, pending the extra point. Could push it up to 9 points.
So Walton answers after surrendering a couple of touchdowns here and watching their 16-point lead shrink down to 2. And Benai drills it. 30-21 and a 9-point lead for Walton.
Well, good answer. And I think I give a lot of credit to the coaching staff of Walton on that drive, because there was a really good mix of run and pass. You gave your running game an opportunity to kind of get Brookwood a little bit more on their heels, because they were just teeing off there to start the second half, and this gave Walton a little bit of an opportunity to really, start confusing Brookwood a little bit on how they were going to mix and match, and went right down the field there and scored.
Well, Chris, as we go to the 4th quarter, that roughing the quarterback penalty is going to loom large, because Brookwood was poised to hold them to a field goal, and it would have been 26-21 instead of 30-21.
I mean, it would have been a one-possession game.
Yep.
You know, and now we're at a two-possession game. You know, we still got plenty of time left if you're Brookwood, and if you're a Brookwood Bronco fan, listen, you're still in this game, and your offense did a great job here in the third quarter. So, you know, hopefully they can get back to what got them going. Obviously, leaning on their big running back Tyson. The running game is still very much something you can lean on.
Ross from the 5-yard line. Ross across the 30 and up to the 34-yard line goes Nigis Ross. Nori Thompson making the tackle for Walton. And that's where Brookwood will go on offense with just 41 seconds left here in the third quarter.
Well, I just, you know, I'll say this as far as Coach Jones and the Brookwood Broncos are concerned, you know, don't get away from your run game. Obviously, that is your bread and butter. Yes, you're down 9. Yes, you know, you're obviously trying to get a quick score here if you can, but there's loads of time left. So take your time, continue to lean on your two backs and on your quarterback, and you'll hopefully be able to get right back in this to make this a one-possession game.
That was Dayron Gross getting his first carry of the game. Ball up to the 39-yard line. Picked up 5 on the play. I'm guessing right here. Well, they got Tyson back out there. I was thinking they might hold Tyson out until the start of the fourth quarter, get him that extra rest on top of the break you get between quarters. They got him back out there now with 11 seconds. Although I don't think they're going to run a play here.
I think they're going to take it all the way down here.
Yep.
The play clock's at 12 and game clock's at 2 seconds. So I think this is going to go ahead and take it to the end of the third.
That's exactly what they do.
All right, well, it's fourth quarter time.
Played 36 minutes. We got 12 to go here in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Walton leading Brookwood 30-21. Coming back for the fourth after this timeout.
Set the record. The biggest WNBA game in Atlanta history. The Atlanta Dream look to even the score against Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. Get your tickets to the biggest Dream game of the year and see why the WNBA is taking the nation by storm. Don't be left out when State Farm sells out. Monday, August 26th. Grab the hottest ticket in town now at dream.wnba.com.
Looking for a reason to try the new $5 meal deal at McDonald's? Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and the price makes 5.
So much.
That's everything you get with the new $5 meal deal at McDonald's.
It's hot at Matthews Kia of Cartersville, so we are having a hot sales event. We have great selections of 2024 and 2025 new vehicles. Lease the 2025 Kia Carnival LX $429 for 24 months. The 2024 Kia Sportage LX $289 for 24 months. Or the 2024 Kia Telluride S just $379 for 24 months. Hurry, because prices are in your favor right now. Don't forget, Matthews Kia of Cartersville is home to the lifetime warranty. Come see us today. All roads lead to Matthews Kia of Cartersville.
Here's to the legends of the game who paved the way for the stars of today.
Get out of his way!
Origin Sports showcases sports history that is as relevant today as it was in the past. Origin Sports, run it back.
Start of the fourth quarter, game 1 of 4 here at the Benz today. Corky, Kell, Dave Hunter Classic, and Walton leading 30-21 on Brookwood as we take this to the final 12 minutes. Matt Stewart, Chris Millman, Kaylee Mansell with you. We've got another game coming up right after this. Chris and I will be here for the Alpharetta and Houston County call as well. Second down on the first play of the fourth quarter, and Braden Tyson bouncing around and gets dropped at the 34-yard line.
Well, we haven't seen that much today, but he absolutely had nowhere to run there on that play. So nice job by Walton, which will set up a third down and looks like about 8.
That was Oliver Skian making the tackle. He had 3 total tackles in the first half.
Now this is a situation where, you know, Brookwood has not had a ton of success today. Is these kind of third and long type plays where they have to become a little bit more one-dimensional and lean on their passing game. So we're going to have to see here right now. Can they make a play with his arm here? Can the quarterback make a play?
Franklin going to take a sack back at the 29-yard line. And Haley with the quarterback sack, and it's going to be 4th down and long.
Well, great play. It was looked like a little bit of a delayed blitz there. And obviously, you know, it being in this one-dimensional situation here, they obviously knew Brookwood was going to pass. Confused the quarterback a little bit. Made a great play, and Walton's going to get the ball back.
Todd Haley, the 6'2", 220 junior, plays that defensive end/eagle position, replaced Loda Ugokwe, who's now a freshman defensive lineman at Yale, part of that state finalist team a year ago. And 4th and long for Brookwood. Soroka to punt. Spiraling kick going to be taken on the run at the 48-yard line by Ward. Diving forward, a little bit dangerous. But that was a great job by Ward as well. He kind of gambled, but you don't want that ball to hit the ground and take a 15-yard bounce.
100%.
He saved them maybe 15 yards.
He did. And decent punt from Soroka, but you know, Walton's going to have really good field position here on this next possession here. They're going to start at about the 48, 47-yard line. And, you know, you feel like if Walton goes down and scores here,
puts them in a bad spot.
It may cement the win here for Walton. So Brookwood's defense, you got to stand up here and see if you can make a play. And you've shown the ability to be able to do that. You've had a strip sack, you've created an interception, so you've done it on a couple of occasions. Really need you here in a big way.
Handoff goes to Farrington, and Farrington gets 3 on the play up to the 50. Farrington, 12th carry of the game, 46 yards, but the offensive star for Walton has been Gilstrap. Over 200 yards of offense here today. 118 in the air, although he's just 6 of 16 passing, and 77 on the ground on 7 carries.
Yeah, and I'd say there's been a little bit of a mix of really good and, you know, I won't say really bad, but some they probably will, you know, some he'd like to really have back, and you're going to see that in the season opener.
Gilstrap spin move, looking downfield, surveying and throwing, and caught at the 30-yard line by McGraney.
Good catch, good throw. But one of the things I've noticed with Gilstrap today, you know, he's got a lot of confidence in his athletic ability, right? So he's shown no hesitation whatsoever when he's got to get outside and run or make a play with his legs or look downfield and throw it.
He's got a lot of that pirouette in his drop back pass. He'll be facing one way and then quickly spin and reverse the defense the other way.
Which is a really good sign. If you're Coach Bruner at Walton, I mean, let's keep in mind here, Gilstrap here doesn't have a lot of experience, and that was a little bit of a flinch there on that play. But Gilstrap doesn't have a lot of experience here, and, you know, today some of his decisions have been kind of veteran.
On the offense. 5-yard penalty.
You know, like Bruner said, he loved his competitiveness that he saw in football, not in football so much, but in basketball and baseball, and that's what thrilled him about Gilstrap taking over the quarterback spot for Hecklinski, who graduated. But also the fact that the kid waited his turn. You just don't see that anymore in high school because kids just transfer, especially in the quarterback position, if they have to sit and wait.
Well, I think he's you know, he looks like he's learned a lot. He's going to take a deep shot here. This is to his deep threat.
Going for Ward. Looked like there was some contact there.
There it is.
There, they dropped the flag.
Yeah.
As well they should. The corner who was running with him, Julian Elzey, was holding on to him.
Yeah, and that's
defensive pass interference. 15 yards from the previous spot.
And that's the right call. You know, Ward has shown the ability to be that deep threat. They love, him and Gilstrap love that route. They've gone to it a few times here today. One for a touchdown earlier, and the corner was not going to let him get by him again, and so he just kind of reached his arm out and grabbed him, and, you know, unfortunately was called for his sake.
Yeah, the Ward brothers, a big addition to this Walton football program, transferred in from Carrollton. Ward played a lot. Christian Ward played a lot for Carrollton last year. Alex is a little bit younger, a year younger, but has had some big plays for him in the return game as well. Had one catch for 27 yards in the game as well. So 1st and 10, that picks up the first down at the 18-yard line for Walton.
Well, Brookwood's defense inside the red zone. We need you.
Fake a toss, and Gilstrap going to try to take it back the other way to the short side. He's going to get a couple of yards on the play. Let's call it 2 to the 16. maybe just 1 to the 17.
Which will set up about a second down and 9, which, okay, that's exactly what you needed if you're Brookwood's defense here. You know, Walton's going to kind of take their time a little bit here with the play call coming in. You got a 9-point lead, just under 9 minutes here left to go in the game. You can afford to do that.
Walton in the red zone, presented by IBEW Local 613. Second down and 9. Hand off to Farrington, cutting to the left, and Farrington picks up just maybe a yard or 2 to the 16. Going to bring up third down.
Good play by Barlow. So number 9 linebacker here for Brookwood. He's made a couple of good tackles and made a couple plays throughout this game. I've noticed him show up a few times here on this drive, and now this sets up, in my mind, a very, very, very critical third down and 8. And let's see if the Brookwood defense can make a play here and get a stop.
Pass dumped off here to Farrington, and Farrington runs over the defender and picks up the first down. Wow.
Did he get the first down, or is he just short, man? I think he's just short.
Let's see where they're going to spot it. That's the question.
Yeah, I think it's going to set up maybe it's going to set up maybe about a 4th and 4.
I thought he had gotten inside the 10. He was stopped at the 12.
Yeah, his knee went down, so they brought it back just a little bit there. And decision time for Coach Bruner. Do you go for the field goal, or do you go ahead and keep your foot on the gas and go for it? It looks like he's going to go for it. 4th down.
Got to get to the 9.
4th and 4. A little confusion here now. They're going to burn their last time out. Nope. They're going to
2 on the clock. Gilstrap is hemmed in, and the ball's going to go over on downs. Maybe they should have used that time.
There was definitely some confusion, and then Gilstrap said, well, I'm just going to try to make this play with my legs, and I'm not even sure that was the call. He might have just, it was kind of a broken play, and let me just see what I can do here. But if you're Coach Jones over at Brookwood, that's exactly what you needed your defense to do. Get you a stop, get you the ball back, and now with just over 7 minutes left to go in the game, it's just, it's a 2-possession game. It's right there for you.
Yeah, you got to score on this possession, though, because with 7:18 to go, you're probably only going to get 2 more possessions in this game.
That's right. Well, here's what we're going to do now is we're going to see C.J. Franklin's passing ability. We haven't leaned on it much today, but you're going to have to see what he can do with his arm now, because you need to score, like you said here on this possession.
Completes his first attempt since you said that to Chris Brunson at the 19-yard line. 2nd down and 3. Handoff goes to Tyson on the cutback. Tyson pushes a man out of the way.
Wow, there's your Herschel Walker run here in the 4th quarter.
33, yeah.
Great run.
Gets a big gainer right there and moves the sticks.
Well, they're going with some pace now. They're going no huddle, so they understand the urgency and the time and the situation. Well, it looks like they're not going to go completely away from the run game, and I guess why would you with Tyson there at running back? But time is marching on.
He has 168 yards rushing. Franklin sidesteps the rush and dumps it off to Tyson in the passing game, and Tyson takes 3 men to get him on the ground. Tyson has another first down at the 46. He is a man out there, even though he's 15 years old. That was Thorner who made the tackle finally.
So for those who may have just joined us, Tyson, our running back here, number 24 for Brookwood. He's over, 160 yards in rushing today.
Yeah, he's over 170 now.
Okay.
Oh, no, that was a pass attempt, so
okay.
It's 168.
168 rushing. He's caught the ball out of the backfield, scored a couple times. Want to remind everybody he is a sophomore. He's only going to get better.
Yeah, Franklin being chased right now and is going to run to the sticks and gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Smart decision. I was looking kind of downfield to see if any of his receivers were open, and all of them were covered up there, so he made the right decision to just get out of bounds. Maybe would have liked to seen him just throw it away, because it did look like he may have lost a yard on it. But he didn't try to force anything in there. which you can't afford a turnover here at this point in time.
2nd down and 11, ball at the 45, and now under 6 minutes left in regulation. That's Gobert, the tight end, who was in motion, and now Gross goes in motion too, and the pass is dropped at the 37. That was set up so nicely, except for the drop, and that was
intended to
Ammon Wobble.
Yeah, it was. I mean, if you're C.J. Franklin, the quarterback, you couldn't have thrown a better ball here.
That was one of the best balls he's thrown all day.
Yeah, he looked off to the running back, and Wobble was right there, and he just couldn't hold on to it. And it looked like he might have been looking a little bit downfield before he caught it.
3rd down and 11.
Well, can't underestimate the importance of this play here. This is a monster play here for this Brookwood offense.
Franklin running and throwing, throw it too high for Marcus Parks. And Tyson had stayed in pass pro and then released, and might have been open in the middle of the field, but
yeah,
you can see the frustration for Tyson right there. He was open.
Yeah, there was actually a couple of receivers that were open on that play, and just unfortunately the pass was overthrown, and now that's going to set up a 4th down and 11 here with 5 minutes and 41 seconds left to go in the game. So you feel like if you're a Brookwood fan, this is a must. You got to get this one. So let's see what Coach Jones has in the playbook here for 4th and 11 in a must-have situation. It looks like he's going to take a timeout here and think about it. He's got to have the right call here on this play.
Timeout, Brookwood.
That'll be the 2nd timeout used by the Broncos. And we'll step aside while they think about it. This big 4th down play coming up.
We saw some squirrels were trying to get into the attic. I hear those squirrels still scampering through because I didn't go through those services initially.
Our job is to go up there and figure out where they're getting in and trap and remove and get those unwanted guests out. But then the next big step is not just seal the entry point where the critter got in, but seal the entire roof line. The most common mistake is only sealing the entry point you see.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
Careers in the sheet metal industry are not only lucrative and rewarding, but also highly technical. Our industry includes the use of AutoCAD, BIM, robotics, and virtual reality. Apprentices acquire skills that are in high demand and are essential to the development of the modern world. These technical skills will establish your career now and for decades into the future. Learn more about opportunities in the sheet metal industry today by visiting our website at careersinsheetmetal.com.
Planting season is here, and it's time to give your yard the perfect touch from the professionals at Personal Touch Lawn Care. Why Personal Touch? Courteous service, attention to detail, and a desire to give you the best lawn in your neighborhood.
They have the knowledge and skills to do anything that I would need.
Call now for a 25% discount on design and consultation services.
Big enough to serve you, small enough to know you.
Personal Touch Lawn Care, 770-908-1238, or online at ptlcatlanta.com.
The GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com Corky, Kell, Dave Hunter Classic is sponsored by Personal Touch Lawn Care. The smallest details make the biggest difference. Gordo's, Fiesta every day. The Rome Floyd Chamber, opportunity awaits. Zaxby's famous fingers and sauces. And by Georgia High School Sports Daily. Live at noon Monday through Friday after Labor Day on the Peachtree Sports Network and the Atlanta News First app.
4th down and 11, and now Brookwood has their punting unit on, going to run a fake.
Oh, no, now they're going to switch the personnel groupings.
Yep, bring the offense back on the field and make Walton scramble on defense. 4th and 11. And Franklin being chased and throwing on the run, and
dropped it.
It is incomplete at the 40-yard line.
Wow.
Somehow got it into a tight window to the receiver, but he couldn't hold on.
Well, it was a heck of a throw by CJ to even get it there, you know, being forced to run to his right and made the throw. And I didn't think he was going to be able to get the ball there, but he did, and he gave his wide receiver a chance. He just couldn't hold on.
And the ball will go over on downs.
Well, that was an interesting design, though. You had the punt unit off, or the punt unit on the field, then you hurry up and bring them off, and offense comes on. But I'll tell you, the defense didn't flinch. I think, you know, they were prepared for that because they knew exactly what they were doing as soon as the offense came back out there.
So 1st and 10 for Walton as they take over at the 45 and 5:33 left on the clock. Ball goes to Farrington, and Farrington lunges down to the 42-yard line, picks up 3 on the play, but more importantly now the clock is running.
So now here at this point in the game, you know, clearly you're just trying to kind of milk the clock a little bit if you're Walton, right? So if you're Brookwood, you know it's coming. You only have one timeout. Well, is this a timeout now? No. Yep, timeout. Brookwood.
Officials timeout.
Is it official timeout? Oh, we got a cramp?
Yeah, we got a player down.
Okay,
That's,
got it.
Unitas Baltimore down on the ground at the 37.
So that's going to be, let's see, set up a 2nd down and 8. Brookwood's got one timeout left in their pocket. I think you got to make a stop here.
So while they're working on Baltimore, we'll step aside.
Sometimes it's the little victories that mean the most. Those everyday celebrations that bring a smile to our faces and joy to our hearts. At Ingalls, we know there's no one you'd rather share those miniature memorable moments with than family. Ingalls, all the ingredients for family.
The nation's hottest sport. See what the buzz is about on Peachtree Sports Network, where the Atlanta Dream look to eclipse the Connecticut Sun. Dream Sun, Sunday at 3 on Peachtree Sports Network.
Washington Media Scholars Foundation, proudly celebrating over 15 years of empowering college students through scholarships, career opportunities, and industry connections. Compete for over $150,000 in scholarships and an all-expense-paid networking trip to Washington, D.C. Connect with top media companies, enhance your media skills, and advance your career. Visit mediascholars.org to learn more.
You ever seen this? You ever seen that? You ever seen the Harlem Globetrotters live on TV? Well, now's your chance. For the first time in 40 years, the Harlem Globetrotters are showing off their skills right in your living room. Don't miss a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and don't miss whatever they call that move. The Harlem Globetrotters, live Sunday at 7, only on Atlanta's own Peachtree TV. Yeah, baby.
5:10 to go, and Baltimore able to get off the field. 2nd down coming up and 8. Ball at the 43. Walton in control with a 9-point lead and possession of the ball. They can run a 4-minute offense here and effectively put this game to bed.
This is the exact situation on why you do those 4-minute drills throughout the summer, is for situations just like this. You got a 9-point lead.
Yeah, and you're just letting the clock run. And the play clock's just now reaching 10, so they can run another 8 seconds here before they snap the ball. They ran about 5, and the handoff goes to Farrington, and Farrington to the 41. 2-yard pickup, and they're pretty happy with that.
So that'll set up a 3rd and about 6, it looks like. Clock running.
Yeah, and even if they don't get a first down here, they're going to milk the clock to around 3 minutes by the time they punt the ball away, and they're going to pin Brookwood deep if all goes according
That's exactly
to plan.
right. Yeah.
And Brookwood's got to score twice.
Yeah. So
and the clock's against you.
Not a good situation if you're a Brookwood Bronco fan here at this point in the game. But to give yourself any type of chance, you got to stop them here on third down.
Gilstrap, they went to the air surprisingly enough. That's going to be an incomplete pass, and that was Pfister who batted down the pass. That stops the clock.
I know. I understand. No, I don't understand.
No, I don't.
I don't understand. I don't understand why you would do that.
You could have burned another minute off the clock by simply running the ball there and then punting.
Yeah.
Instead, you basically give Brookwood another minute to work with.
Yeah. I think if I'm Coach Bruner, I'd like to probably have that call back here in this situation. And look, you know, this is situational football. And at this point in time in the game, you got a commanding 9-point lead. You got the ball in Brookwood's territory. I mean, just wind the clock.
Gunnels punts it into the end zone. So now the clock's going to stop. It's supposed to stop. It hasn't stopped yet. It finally does at 3:50.
Well,
and
if you're
Brookwood has the ball at the 20.
Yeah. So now, okay, 3 minutes and 50 seconds left. You know, you only have one timeout if you're Brookwood. Obviously, you do need 2 scores, but you caught a break there. I mean, kind of to your point, there was probably about a minute or so that they could have been burned off there. You know, Brookwood now, you know, has the ability. They have a pulse. It's not much of a pulse, but they do have a pulse here to still, you know, have a potential shot at making this an interesting outcome.
Yeah, and one of the biggest awarenesses you have to have as a team and a coach is time. What's the
clock
time
management.
situation?
Clock management. That's right.
Franklin going to step up and run. Even with doing that, it's still going to be a long shot for Brookwood because they got to score, somehow get the ball back. They can't kick it to them because they only have one timeout, so they got to recover an onside kick.
Right.
So it's a long shot.
It is.
But you could have made it an even longer shot had you managed the clock better.
Well, and listen, anything can happen in high school football, in particular when it comes to special teams. So, you know, you have your shot.
Ball goes to Parks. That'll be a first down. Stops the clock momentarily.
But you gotta move with some pace here. You know, you got to start taking a few shots downfield. These, you know, 5-6 yard clumps. You know, the clock's going to run out on you. They're going to go empty set now.
3-minute mark. Identify Tyson. He's lined up in the slot. Ball goes to Parks on a crossing route across the 50 and down to the 45. Stops the clock with 2:59. And now you got yourself in a place where you can almost take a shot to the end zone. Almost.
Yeah, and we have not called Parks' name very much, if at all, today. And, you know, Parks has some size and some ability. And hopefully now, you know, you just fed him the ball, gave him a little bit of confidence, see if him and Franklin can continue on and make some connections.
Franklin steps up to avoid the rush. Now he's across the line of scrimmage and going to run out of bounds at the 35.
He was looking towards Park's direction again. Now you're getting down here in this fourth quarter here in the season opener. You know, conditioning. I know we're indoors here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, but you know, conditioning is a factor here in these first games. There's nothing that can replicate game speed, and that's what we're seeing here right now.
Running full speed. Indoors or out is running full speed.
Correct, correct. And then right now, you're going to see, you know, which teams are going to be a little bit better conditioned as you get in here in that back half of the fourth quarter.
Clock at 2:47. They've done a good job of managing the clock here to get them down this close. You can take a shot at the end zone here. They're going empty set with 5 wides. Franklin going to step up, looking downfield. Now he's going to run it again. Got to get to the sideline.
Out of bounds.
And he's going to be able to.
Late flag. Might be a hold. Well, it looks like the flag came in down from the back in the secondary, and it was kind of in the vicinity of where the run was. So a lot of times that's a holding penalty on the offense.
We'll check the call from our officials right here, but I think that's an educated guess. That's a good educated guess.
Holding on the offense. The 10-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
So a 10-yard penalty from the end of the run, not the line of scrimmage as it is in the NFL.
Which, again, the clock has stopped. And I see, you know, CJ, we haven't seen him obviously doing a lot of throwing here much of this game. Obviously, he's being forced into more of a passing situation now. But he's trying to go through his reads, and he's getting a little bit of time. So let's see if he can make a play here. Nope.
Franklin dancing around back there, trying to get away from the rush. Got hit from behind as he was throwing, forcing the ball into the ground. And that was Jake Thorner who brought the pressure. Now it's going to be second down.
Thorner's one of my favorite players on this Walton team. I love with the tenacity that he plays with. We've called his name a few times here today. He'll be a big factor for Walton's defense here throughout the year. You're gonna, you know, for those Walton fans out there, you're gonna see Thorner make quite a few big plays for this defense this fall.
Game high 10 tackles, 7 solos with the sack here today, and now it's second down and 14. Flag out, probably have holding again. The ball was ricocheted and nearly caught, and then it was broken up by Ethan Stannard, but it wouldn't have mattered anyway. I think we're going to have offensive holding.
They're going to back him
holding
up.
On the offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Second down.
Well, I say it wouldn't have mattered if they'd gotten the interception. That would have mattered.
That would have.
But the catch wouldn't have mattered if it had been an offensive catch.
So they've lost a little bit of their rhythm here that they had the first part of this drive, and it's been some of these couple holding penalties now that's really backing them up. And unfortunately, time is not on their side here with 2 minutes and 19 seconds left to go in this fourth quarter. Again, kind of, you know, these conditioning that we talked about earlier. You know, I'm starting to see a lot of these receivers who are running downfield play after play, and some of these guys look like they might be getting a little bit tired.
Franklin sprints to the outside, throws on the run, and nearly intercepted and caught by Parks.
Well, Brookwood just got a break.
Right there.
Yeah, that would have ended the game.
Hudson Beard had it go through his hands. It was caught by Parks, and now they're back to the original line of scrimmage, and it's third down and 10.
Clock running.
Under 2 minutes now to go.
Looked like there was a false start, but no penalty.
Franklin being chased by Thorner, gets by Thorner and gets drilled out of bounds by Beard, who just missed the interception. Got a little payback on the quarterback right there.
Well, he took, CJ Franklin took a good little hit on that play. You hate to see your quarterback take a hit like that. Clearly, he's feeling it a little bit here right now. Understand the situation, understand what he was doing, but man, oh man, you just hate to see that. You just got to hold your breath.
He was trying to get to the sticks right there. That puts him over 100 yards rushing today, but now it's 4th and 2. And last gasp for Brookwood right here.
Now, did Coach Jones call his last? No, he did not. It looks like he's about on the field. Oh, so they're going to go direct. They are going to call it now.
Timeout, Brookwood.
So it looks like on that 4th down and 2, they were lining up CJ Franklin, the quarterback, at the receiver position, and it looks like they were going to go back to that direct snap to Tyson on that 4th and 2.
Charge timeout of the half.
Which, again, 4th down and 2, you got to get the first down, but now you've used your last timeout, and time is not on your side with 1:44 left.
Switch your termite protection to Breda Pest Management, and your rate is locked in for 10 years. If live termites are ever found, Breda will retreat, fix the damage, and honor the rest of your contract, all for free. Breda, they handle bugs and critters.
So 4th and 2, we shall see here how they play this. Matt, what would you do here on 4th and 2, no timeouts, 1:44 left? Are you going to Tyson to just guarantee you get the first down?
Yeah, I'm going to get the first down, and then I'm going to hustle right back up and spike the ball to stop the clock, provided you get the first down.
So they're going to come out in that same formation. Tyson there going to take the direct snap.
And Tyson, and play got blown dead. Did we have movement?
We did. Now
that changed.
It might have been on the defense.
Encroachment on the defense. 5-yard penalty will result first down.
Well, Brookwood catches another break.
Yeah, and settles the issue for them. Now 142 and a fresh set of downs. But
please reset the clock to 1:44.
So they're, I mean, the situation is pretty long shot here for Brookwood. They still got to score, recover an onside kick, and then score again.
Yeah.
But
you feel like
before all that can happen, they got to score right here, and it's
they do.
1st and 10 at the 22.
I think I would probably want to take a couple of shots. Oh, there's another flag, and that's again on the defense.
Encroachment on a defense. 5-yard penalty. Still first.
You can see the defensive coordinator over here, or Coach Bruner over here, is telling his defense, hey guys, calm down a little bit here. No need to be giving them free yards with, you know, clock's not moving and all that. Just take your time. Relax.
1st and 5 now. Brookwood trying to make things interesting here at the end. Franklin passes in the middle, and it's juggled by Gober right there at the goal line.
Well, Gober, you know, he had his chance there. I mean, the ball was put perfectly. He's got to come down with that ball. He's got to make that play. Good throw by CJ here to kind of thread the needle in there, which probably would have set the ball up, and maybe he might have gotten into the end zone with his size.
Yeah, Gober's big. He's 6'4", 230. I think if he catches this thing, he gets into the end zone.
Yeah, he wants that one back. A good play design there by Brookwood, and that's exactly what you need right now. Is you got to start taking some shots here, knowing that you need 2 scores.
Franklin flushed out of the pocket. He's being chased. Quarterback sack, and the ball is out. Walton's got it. Game, set, match.
That's it.
Hayden Halpus came from the backside. Quarterback sack, strip. Walton's got the ball. Walton's going to get a season-opening win.
Well, great job by the Walton defense to stand tall there. You made a couple of miscues there on that possession, but when your defense needed to come up big, they did with the strip sack and caused the turnover, which will essentially end the game.
Hayden Halpus comes up with the big-time play. He's one of the few remaining players who had a contributing role on the state finalist team a year ago. Comes up big to get him to 1-0 on the season. And now just 1:26 to go. Brookwood has no timeouts remaining. Walton doesn't even really have to run a play here. They can just take a knee and kneel this one out.
Yeah. So, well, look, I think they're just like with any season opener for both units here. There was some really good. There was some not so good, and then there's some things that you're like, okay, with a little tweak here and a little tweak there, you know, we can rectify this going into next week. So, you know, in a season opener, we've had a lot of undisciplined penalties this last few days. I think today there was just a little bit of that, but not as much as we've seen, in my view, the last few days. So there'll be some things to correct in the film room this week as they get ready for their next matchup next week.
So 2nd down and 11. The clock continues to move. Now under 1 minute to play, and still 15 seconds on the play clock. So Walton in no hurry to snap. And how about Caden Gilstrap in his first game as the varsity starter, replacing Jeremy Heklinski? Throws for 142 and a couple of touchdowns, and runs for 78 as well. And here's a look at our play of the game. It's presented by England and Stubbs, and it's the 43-yard touchdown run by Braden Tyson in a losing effort. Our Ingles and Stubbs play of the game.
Well, there was some impressive guys that we saw here today, but I don't know if anybody was more impressive than Tyson.
Yeah, Tyson ends up with a huge game, 168 and a couple of touchdowns in a losing effort. And Franklin rushes for 101 as well. And that's going to do it. Handshakes all around as Walton now 15-1 in their last 16 games. The lone loss coming on this field back in December 13th. This does not make up for that by any means, but it's a great start to the 2024 season for the Walton Raiders as they hand Brookwood a 30-21 loss.
Well, I think it's exactly what Coach Bruner wanted from Walton. He had a hard time dealing with the loss there at the end of the season there in the state championship game. They were anxious to get back here to Mercedes-Benz Stadium and start this season out on the right note. And they did a great job today. They had the new quarterback in there who showed a lot of promise, showed that he learned a lot from his predecessor last year, and I think they got a lot to build on. And I think Walton's going to be right back in it here again this year with some of the things they showed here. They just reloaded.
Yeah, nice win for them. They scored 23 points, Chris, in the second quarter, and that was really the difference in the game.
Well, you know, if you look over on Brookwood too, though, there were some things from Brookwood today that I really liked. I think obviously the running back we've talked plenty about, but there were some things on the defensive side of the ball where they created a couple turnovers. They gave Walton a little bit of fits throughout the various points of this game. You know, Brookwood is going to be a factor this upcoming season over there in Gwinnett County.
30-21 victory. Brookwood actually outgains Walton statistically on offense, 334 to 268. But on the scoreboard where it matters most, Walton comes away with a 9-point win.
Well, Brookwood, you know, Coach Jones, he said, you know, if we're going to get back to Brookwood football, we got to get back to the time of possession game, controlling the ball and whatnot. And they did a lot of that today. They just had a couple of untimely mistakes that really hurt them, and they'll learn from that. And again, they'll be right back in it, I think, this year. I really do. I believe that.
And let's send it down to the field.
Welcome to the Winning Coaches interview presented by Zaxby's. I'm Najee Wilkins with head coach Daniel Bruner and our MVP, Caden Gilstrap. So, Coach, 14-1 last year. Very young team, complete kind of overhaul of the roster. What's your thoughts on this game?
I'm just so proud of our guys, man. We made young mistakes, but we're resilient. And I'm super proud of Caden Gilstrap. He's the epitome of what high school football should be. He is the man. I'm just so excited he's leading this team. I'm just proud of these guys tonight.
What was your message to this group when it was close? They scored 14 points unanswered, 23-21. That last drive, Caden leads it. What was your message to them?
Recapture the momentum. I walked over right to him, recapture the momentum. That's exactly what he did and that offense did. So super proud of their ability to just be resilient in times of adversity.
And final question, what's your thoughts on the defensive performance early on when your offense finding his foot and they got 2 major stops in the red zone? They're late, they get the turnover. What's your thoughts on the performance today?
One of our goals is to own the red zone, and we did that early. You know, we kind of bowed our back there when we needed to, got our offense the ball back and did what we needed to do, but there's a lot of things that we got to get cleaned up, but, you know, just super proud of the way we finished the game.
Certainly. Well, congrats, Coach. Yes, sir. All right, Caden, so on behalf of Georgia Construction Careers, I want to present you with this award for the Robbie Hunter MVP Award. So you're a 4-sport athlete, man. What's it kind of like being out there, being able to be so talented and be able to have a good game like this?
It's amazing. You know, I think all my other sports benefit the rest of the sports I play, from baseball to football to basketball. It just helps me in every aspect of each game, and you know, not letting my body do repetitive things, which can cause injury, and just staying loose. You know, doing a numerous amount of things. I think it helps me a lot.
Now, you were able to have 200-plus all-purpose yards. How was you able to do it? You were killing them on the ground. You were also doing it, passing through the air. Just how were you able to have this type of performance today?
Just trusting the play calling. We started off slow, you know, not a lot of yards at the beginning. Then we started picking it up. So I'm just trusting my coaches, trusting what I can do, and, you know, trusting in myself and the ability to run or pass the ball. Got to thank my O-line, kept me safe all game. And receivers, you know, beating man coverage. You know, Brookwood, a press-heavy team. So I just got to thank them. Great game by them.
Final question, how were you able to do on that final drive, or one of those key critical drives when they had all the momentum, 23-21? What was your message? Your coaches said recapture the momentum. What were you telling your guys in the huddle?
Hey, just go down and go score. You know, the momentum they got was my fault. I fumbled the ball. I told them I got him. It's not going to happen again. You know, we're going to get the momentum back, and we're going to go down and score, and that's exactly what we did. And this is just a great job by the offense, bouncing back, and the defense just holding us in that position to win.
Certainly. Well, guys, that's all the time we got. Thank you so much for tuning into the post-game report. That's all I got. We're going to go ahead and toss it to break.
Introducing Zaxby's new chicken finger tacos. One with pico and creamy chipotle ranch, and the other with bacon and avocado ranch. Chicken experts since 1990. Taco experts since now. Woo, saucy! Zaxby's.
Hey, is the power off on this?
I don't know. Just take it off.
Safety violation. Unsafe work conditions.
In the construction trades unions, safety is our highest priority, and we train you to recognize and speak out on unsafe working conditions so that everyone arrives and goes home safely. Learn about careers in construction at GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com.
A journeyman with Local 85, when you turn out, you can be hitting 6 figures.
Hey, I have your back, you have my back, we're gonna do this together. We're one for all for one.
College just wasn't for me. Let's look into